Welcome back, everyone, and we are live with the Game Week 6 Special Edition Wildcard Pod. Two of us on this podcast have activated their chip after contemplating throughout the week, throughout last few weeks, I should say, and two of us are on a different kind of strategy. So we have a whole mix of content for this game week, and I'm joined by my best mates, Vimarsh, Aman, and Suraj. How are we doing, guys?
Awesome, awesome. I mean, it's a different kind of excitement when you are on a wild card. Like you can't sleep. You're continuously making 100,000 of those combinations and drafts. So I'm just enjoying that phase. After a very poor start for because of a few picks which didn't work at all, but should have. So I finally decided to hit the wild card. So I'm enjoying my wild card week truly and fully.
Right. Vimarsh, thoughts?
Yeah, I pulled the wild card trigger immediately after the last game of this game week, and lot of combinations and all going on. A lot of uh, players that are already locked in, and there's some nervousness about random news as well, like Haaland being injured or something like that. So I'm not sure about all those things, but yeah, let's see. A lot of updates, but very excited about the wild card.
Mm.
For me personally, I feel this is the right time, especially after having played the bench boost as well, which yielded a good amount of points to me, considering my the remainder of my team wasn't that good. I just made 31 points off my team and 19 on my BB, so got a 50 and a green arrow, which is always welcome. So yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, and congratulations on a successful wild bench boost,
It is a
Vimal. Like
successful bench boost, but it's all right. A successful bench boost is only good if your actual team also puts in some points. But I can't complain. I still
But
am
you
on a
would
good
have
track.
you would have lost those points, right?
Yeah, I would
If
have
you
lost
didn't
those
bench
points.
boost. So yeah,
and
it's
same with
again.
me. Like I had 18 points on my bench, and it's sort of like I feel it's uh, just team selection could have made it better. Like just Dubravka instead of Sanchez would have meant a 7 point swing for my team. Uh, Keeping in Reinders over anybody in the midfield would have gotten me extra 7 points. So yeah, it's been that kind of. Actually, yeah, I should have played Reinders over Wirtz. I don't know why I didn't. So
Mm.
Wirtz just got a single. Wirtz was like what,
I want to
0 or
talk
one
about
point?
words. I want to talk about words after yesterday's thing that happened with Liverpool. There are chances that he might start false nine or maybe become the false nine
I
after we
am
said.
done with that. I am done with the player. I am
I,
absolutely done with him.
I
I think
just
we have
actually just
already
want
pulled the
Isak
trigger.
in my team now. I kind of am like hoping that Isak starts now, considering
So yeah, he
Ekitike.
should. I think at least he should
Uh,
play half the games.
Let's not drop any
Spoilers.
spoilers. Let's not.
But the only thing is, I think with the it's such an irony that Ekitike with scoring that goal might have thought, okay, he's kind of competing with Isak for the role, right? They're not gonna play together, and he might have thought, okay, now I've conquered the world and all. But then he ends up losing. He won't be playing the next match, and
Yeah.
then that might be the end of his starting reduction of minutes from here, like going forward, like in general. Like if Isak
Yeah.
gets a start and then goes on from there, so it's kind of
Yeah.
it's a very weird situation. In his
We have
excitement, he took off, but
Piyush in the chat today. So interesting to
nice.
see his points on Haaland and overall City. I think interesting when we come to that aspect. So will be like he's a keen supporter. We hear him, um, and will be interesting to take his points as well. Let's quickly jump into the pod and like a quick sponsor plug. So again, the affiliation with FF Scout runs throughout the season with us. You can go to the description link below, subscribe them. We have some content, picked stats, handcrafted by Suraj and Aman for this particular pod, just to give us some idea about why this wild card makes sense, why the stats are in a position that we should be hitting that trigger. So in nutshell, you can also use that platform for all your planning and getting those insights. So a one-stop solution for everything. Right. A quick game week review, guys. Won't spend much time
Yeah.
on this today. Just to highlight few of the fixtures and the themes that we have already seen, and you guys can chime in on the pointers that I might miss out. So Liverpool Everton, I think a takeaway is like Everton are defensively, although against Liverpool who create a lot of chances, they still did good. I think in pockets, I still felt like that this game might not be a very high scoring game as we used to see. And I think on Anfield also they did put up a good show, I would say, from an overall perspective. And lastly, on Salah, I think this was a better game after what we saw in CL. He did look that much more attacking than what we usually see. Now, in the next game, we are not having Ekitike, so will be again interesting to see whether Salah comes in a much central role or not. On the defense side, I think if people are on Virgil or double Liverpool kind of thing that if they are thinking, I think there's a caution there because we haven't seen Liverpool being solid in any of the game from a defensive standpoint. So that's obviously a theme there. Then coming to Spurs, I think one shining light is Kudu's form seems to be now like he seems to have got his feet together and he's getting those assists. He looked threatening, very threatening in the second half, and Spurs came back and they kind of were showing what Thomas Frank Brentford was. I think in the second half we saw that they had that zeal of coming back, and that's what you want to see from a side, and that's clearly they displayed to come back from a deficit of a goal down to equalize in the second half. Then the standout fixture I would pick up United Chelsea. I see this game like there are two perspectives, and obviously we have Vimarsh and Aman to highlight whether it makes sense what I'm saying or not. But I think how the game played out, Maresca somewhere was very early to take those calls of what players he needs after they went 10 men down. I mean, a stupid decision from Sanchez as well. It was not required at that stage. It could be a goal they could have conceded, but they are a team that could have still won the game from that. We've seen that with Chelsea. And with
You know what?
United,
Like he would have actually not even considered is what I feel had he left, had he,
yeah,
stayed back. There's a
yeah,
90% chance we wouldn't have conceded the goal also. It's
Yes,
absolutely.
Because United only believes in XG.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a brain fade kind of a moment, right? And and the worst panic attack kind of shown by Maresca in the following moments after that. He took out both our ball carrying forwards out of the game. Okay, I understand you take out Estevao because you have to get in the stand-in goalkeeper, but Neto should have stayed on, and he would have supported Pedro. Like Pedro cannot do everything all by himself, right? He needs at least one person to carry the ball forward with him. And yeah, then just became about defending, and the worst part was we couldn't even defend. So we there was no shape at the back. We were everywhere. We were even with 10 men, five, bus parked with 10 men. We could not figure out our lines in defense. We could not mark the players properly. It seemed like the team has never even, practiced with in this kind of a formation,
yeah.
and it was yeah, like that. And yeah, I mean, thanks to United, we just got a chance back into the game, but I felt like it was a
I
bit too
mean, to
late
be
by
very
then.
honest, for the first time ever, I wasn't worried about United conceding a goal. To be very honest, it didn't look like Chelsea would score a goal considering what they had done, like
Yeah,
in terms of the players and
I
considering the
think
kind of team they have. I never expected they would not score. I mean, they did score one eventually. They would have definitely scored a couple if they had a full 11 team. Even with a 10v10, they managed to score a goal with defenders linking up, right? So
Yeah.
after a point of time, it was kind of a gone game. I mean, I think even on our group chat, I wrote, I don't see Chelsea coming back from here. Like, I rarely say that. Always, I mean, like, I always take the worst possibility that United will concede or something like that, but it didn't look possible.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
I think one thing is also playing the Palmer decision was little tricky, and it ended up in the on the wrong side of things. Now we do not have Palmer reportedly out for 3 to 6 weeks. That's a hit for Chelsea, who were looking like based on the Champions League game. I felt like this could be the moment where Chelsea kickstarts. I know they didn't look that good versus Bayern, but I think there were moments that you could see that. yes, there is a shape, there is a structure to this team that could eventually play out, but like over reliance on Pedro, like just making sure Pedro gets something out of that game was the idea that Maresca went in with. And I think the one game where Palmer was not there and Estevao started, we all see what happened. Although that game was against West Ham, but we know how fluid Chelsea was. So I think even with the 10-man system, he could have still gone with an attacking approach, and maybe post 60 minutes a defensive approach would have been fine. I mean, even with 10 man, you have Caicedo and Enzo as the like probably the best ball players and best holding midfielder that we have in the league. So a trust was required, but probably he understands and picks up from this game that how he has to manage better. A very good learning, I would say, all in all.
Yeah, there's a comment from Piyush to Aman. Can we bring that on the screen if possible?
I don't think we have it on the screen, but yeah. So Piyush is saying, Aman bhai, Avalanche is coming. Do you see a pattern? It was a luck escape yesterday.
Yeah, again, like we played our bench team in the Carabao Cup yesterday. First half was absolutely poor. And one thing, guys, like for whoever has Sanchez, there's a lot of confidence, by the way, from the last match. Jorgensen is not up to the task at all. Like he is by no means getting into the first team. Like he had an absolute howler of a game in Carabao Cup yesterday. He was making mistakes after mistakes. There is no threat to Sanchez's position in the team. So, last week we were thinking after this such a bad mistake, maybe Sanchez might have to be rested. It definitely not happening in the Premier League and Champions League. Clearly, like Jorgensen is not up to it. So yeah, I mean, and we overall we had a bad game. Tyreek George saved us. He came on as a super sub, scored a goal, assisted another. Bonanate scored his first goal for us. So yeah, I mean we won the match, but there were threats throughout the. Even after going up, we were conceding a lot of chances. So not feeling as confident on the Chelsea defense is what I can. That's my takeaway.
Yeah. Moving forward, I think the other big game, like the best game of the, I would say the weekend was Arsenal City. Uh, a game of two halves again. First half, City did dominate. Then I think Arteta could see that there are chances that could be exploited in that side, but they celebrated like it was a trophy win, honestly. Like I wasn't expecting Arsenal sometimes overblows the impact that they have on a game, like a result or something, which then post that whenever they win such a game, then the run is not so encouraging to associate it with the whatever they played in the previous game. So even in this game, I saw that like these are like post 90 minutes how the team was celebrating and everything. Although the goal was obviously good, how they entirely cut through that back line, and the only way to beat Donnarumma seems to be like lobbing the ball on top of him. So again, a good
That
game.
is also not easy with this
Yeah,
side.
Because he looks like he covers the entire goal. Like, I mean, there is very high chance, and you over-engineer stuff when you are like attacking against him. Even though it's a one-on-one, it's very difficult to like find space against Donnarumma and goal. But net, what I saw like a good from an FPL standpoint, couple of observations that Reinders and Foden, like I think this combination works well for Haaland all in all. They both are picking spaces for each other. If Reiner is not on the number 10 role, then Foden takes up that space. And both are trying to deliver it to Haaland in some or the other way. We saw that how it played out for Reinders in this particular game. And I think we've kind of seen that in the first game when he played in this particular role, and then bits and pieces in the last game as well. So clearly, what Marmoush injury has played in the hands of Reinders is that he's become a inevitable 5.5 to be have in your team. And I think moving forward, even on wildcard, he looks like a lock for most of the managers out there. On
Yeah, I
Arsenal, I
mean,
would
and
say, yeah,
Foden is a differential pick, and it's important to just keep close track of him. I feel like the moment he looks to be on form, you have to get him in
Yeah.
immediately because he goes on that run. Uh,
Yeah,
Rangers seems like a good bet. Like, there have been in a short time span of 5 game weeks, people have been so hot on him. Then all of a sudden, people felt that he's not gonna be that player we imagined. And then when he scores a haul on everybody's bench, he's back in everybody's good books. So it's been quite a seesaw with Rangers. But I feel he's for 5.5 million, he's an amazing value player. Like it's just a set and forget kind of a pick. You don't have to worry. You can always bench him if you don't feel like playing him.
yeah,
And more than likely, he'll get some points on the bench as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a good headache to have in your team, I feel.
yeah. I mean, also one person who's been really impressive for me personally has been Donnarumma. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
very exceptional. I mean, he might go. I mean, I'm not sure if he'll go underrated in the squad, but he's doing a lot of stuff at the back. I mean, snuffing off half chances and like doing his bit. But I think he's really, really, really good. I really, it's very rare that I mean, a goalkeeper comes to your notice like very frequently, but he's doing everything right in my opinion.
I mean, rightly so. He won
Yashin
the
Trophy.
goalkeeper of the year.
So yeah,
Yashin.
Yashin.
Yashin Trophy. That's what it's called, no?
Yeah.
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 I mean, and then usual stuff from Bournemouth. I think the backline is super solid. Senesi delivering what he's been. The bandwagon is behind for him. Then
But
Sunderland,
something
Aston.
also highlighted was Newcastle's backline is as solid, it
Yeah,
seems.
four
Yeah.
clean sheets in
Uh,
five.
yeah, they are interestingly team with lowest XG across all.
I've been
Yeah,
calling it
Concede
out for the past two or three
XGC.
weeks. Newcastle, Newcastle.
Yeah, they've absolutely gone under the radar. But yeah,
Without
now
a Newcastle player in my team.
and now with a lot of people on wildcard free hitting and all what I mean not relevant for a free hit, but yeah, on a wildcard there definitely must at least have a look at kind of a team defensively.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we saw then in like obviously not from a very attacking point, but Aston Villa finally scored a screamer over there. But again, overall the team doesn't appeal like
Yeah.
and that's why the tearing up of teams is happening because most teams are doubling up on Watkins and Roger, which look like a fair shout when you start the season. And there was discussion whether Elliott and all Sancho will start, but we haven't seen that. So it's like the playing 11 is not sorted. There are a lot of managers right now tagging along with Watkins for a couple of more weeks for the good fixtures. But I think we might not see any spark. It's like the XG is not there. Even on the eye test, it doesn't seem like that it will be good. So all in all, nothing appealing from there. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
with
think
Villa, I would want to point out that they are creating chances. They have been creating chances since I think game week 1 here and there. I wouldn't call it their full potential, but they have been creating chances about the finishing part.
I think lastly on Leeds, I think Stack has emerged as a pick because of his 15-pointer on set pieces, has looked threatening as an for assists also. Calvert-Lewin is back, so if he can be one of the player who shines for them, then could be a cheap enabler striker for them as well in the upcoming game week. So net net, I think this has been the story. Palace usual stuff. West Ham did go get a goal, but overall West Ham still looks very poor from an attacking lens. Doesn't appeal much from an FPL standpoint, any picks or anything. But Palace defense, like from a DEFCON, Richards is, I think, logged in many teams. Lacroix is shining over there as well. So uh, an expected result, I would also say from that particular game. I think most of the games have been kind of predictable. Like we most how we were anticipating games to play out. It is one of the week that panned out the same way. I was expecting an Arsenal win, but nonetheless it was a draw. But otherwise, I think a fair game week how we most anticipated.
I mean, it was a very, there were no clean sheets on the first day. So it was very disheartening that way because we
Yeah.
got no clean sheets. But I mean, there's
I
just
mean,
one
a
game that has a clean
week
sheet.
for DEFCON. I think everyone
Yeah.
was having DEFCONs are flying left, right, and center for everyone. So that's why the wildcard play. I feel those who were on wild card, it made sense because in such a game where it is going to be a low scoring game, you can back upon the poor teams or like the cheap enablers for getting those defcons for tightly contested game because a very even contest across the board if you see in the last game week and we might not see something like this playing out. We'll talk about the other bench boost windows that we have seen and we feel like people on wildcard would be probably doing that. So we'll discuss on that.
Yep.
By the way,
Now,
interestingly, last time, that it so happened that there was no clean sheet on the first day. That was back in November 2010. So
oh,
quite some, quite a stat.
I think Bournemouth and Newcastle kept. Otherwise, other than that, there were
No,
none.
Bournemouth, Newcastle, yeah,
Second
but
day.
I
That
don't
was
know
the
whether
second
it
day, but
was the
only
first
one
day.
clean
Yeah,
sheet.
it was second day, right? So
Yeah,
that
only
second
one
day.
clean
Okay,
sheet match. And a lot of draws. Sunderland, Aston Villa,
so
Arsenal, City,
okay.
Burnley,
First,
Nottingham Forest. Correct.
I
I
thought
meant
the
the
full
first
game
day of the match,
Correct, correct,
match
correct.
week.
game
I
week.
got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
First match day of the game week.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, all right. Now, like game week 6, a very good free hit window for those who want to triple up on City. If you can see, XG expected is 2.76, 49% is clean sheet. Also, Guardiola has also emerged as a starter now, probably going to start all games for them now. Then the other standout fixture, I think I would again, I would not say Spurs can score 2 goal. I think that's
I
slightly
mean, they
overboard for.
can.
I
They
think they
can
will.
easily.
I think they'll
Yeah.
easily score two
They
goals.
most likely will.
90 also.
Yeah.
But 41%, I think, yeah, that's more down to how Wolves has been doing. But
I think it'll be
yeah,
something like a 3-1.
yeah. But I would not say Forest can keep a clean sheet. I think 39% is a higher odd given how Sunderland is playing. I think that's close to being very sure with the clean sheet. If Murillo is out injured, we'll see whether he plays in the Europe uh, mid-game week. But will also give us a good update on his injury because we've seen a lot of transfers flowing in, but with the expectation that Murillo will come back on the weekend. So that's there. But if he's out, I think it becomes even tough for them
Yeah.
to
I
that. But from an attacking point of view, I think Forest looked much better last game week. They were creating better chances.
yeah.
So we can expect something from an attacking standpoint, but I think keeping clean sheet, they don't look that solid at the back right now. I
I think
know,
Fulham might keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa. And if you have Anderson, I
Yeah.
yeah,
would definitely play him.
yeah,
And
Yep.
same as a lot of people are actually getting in Tarkowski just for not just for the clean sheet potential, but also for the set piece potential against West Ham.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a good pick for this week. And I mean,
So
I'm still considering getting him. So let's see.
currently, in interesting started. So West Ham are facing in this game week and the next game week the team that is creating maximum set piece opportunities. That is Everton, and I think next is with Palace, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
So that is something to also keep in mind.
Mm.
Hmm.
Then I think, yeah, obviously Tarkovsky is showing like a 8 pointers logged if he gets DEFCON and probably
Yeah.
bonus as well.
Yeah.
So that could be there. Even Anderson, I would say, is on a similar range for this week. What's your take on Bournemouth versus Leeds? Do you see like after what Leeds did last game week, they
I
look
think it'll be
really
a bonus.
attacking, but it's Leeds home, so that could be at
And
play.
I mean, it could,
Yeah.
I
Leeds
mean, one
might
goal tops, but you never know.
end up scoring some goal. And definitely, it is sort of feeling like the promoted clubs are not really the whipping teams. It's actually the existing Premier League teams who are not performing,
Yeah,
whom one should try to attack.
I
Teams
mean,
like
Leeds
Brentford,
beat
teams like
Wolves.
West Ham,
Yeah,
teams
but
like Wolves.
Leeds just beat Wolves, right? So I don't think we should make too much of it. Is what my thinking is. It's just
No,
a
I'm not.
Yeah.
And they've actually beaten Wolves. They've also in the previous match kept a clean sheet. They drew
against
in the
Newcastle.
previous. Yeah,
so
so I
the
mean, it's a
No,
couple
fair.
of game
Newcastle is
weeks they were not performing. They had some injuries concern. So after first game week only, I think couple of their players were out. Now they are back in the squad. So that has kind of changed. They look much better when I look back at the highlights also of last game just to look at whether Calvert-Lewin is decent or not and what did Stack did actually with that 15 pointer. So I think overall I think they are
They're
very
open.
direct team. They are very
I
direct
mean,
team. So you can they're open. So I'm saying you will can obviously score against them. That they look that
correct.
open to me. But
Yeah,
again, I think Bournemouth keeping a clean sheet, that is, I'm not saying that's a certainty in this game week.
true,
Yeah.
true. Quite
And,
possible. The only thing I think Wolves is not playing well, so that's the only thing.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and answering to Ritin's question on thoughts on stats, I
Yeah,
think he has created 12 chances as of now. He has two double digits haul, if I'm not wrong. Last game week and I think first game week, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think in
it
the
So
was
yeah,
first,
two-digit
yeah.
haul, two-digit haul
a
in the
good
first game
pick.
week.
I think so.
He
I
had
think it
one
was an
return.
8 pointer.
Yeah,
Oh, 8 pointer. Okay, okay. So one double digit haul. But the thing to notice, you can consider Stash as well as Anthony. If you're bench boosting on game week 8 or 9,
right.
prefer Anthony over Stash. That's all.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
Stash is for a long term, he's a great pick.
I still feel personally, Statch or Stack, how you pronounce it, it's a knee-jerk thingy. It's just one game, and I
Yeah.
still feel Dewsbury Hall and people like that like give
I
more
mean,
value.
Dewsbury Hall is
The,
much better. I think if you
yeah,
cannot get India in your team and you want to put that funds in elsewhere, then Dewsbury Hall can be a lot in that price range. He's
Anthony is
also,
definitely a good, very good option, Jadon Anthony. But the thing is, he doesn't have good fixtures. If he had
yeah.
even decent fixtures, I would have gotten him in my wildcard draft.
Yep.
Absolutely gotten him in.
Right. United, I think Bruno is a solid pick again for this
Yeah,
game week, and probably a captain shout next game week. Chelsea, Pedro again is there. Brighton again can score. So Chelsea defense doesn't look
Yeah.
that solid right now. But otherwise, I would still call for a 2-1, 2-1, 3-1 sort of a Chelsea win again in this match. I think they would come back. Maresca, one thing about him is what we've seen is like after a poor game, we usually see them come back really well. United game could also be have been that barring that red card. So
yeah.
expecting them to recover from that.
Also, the United game wasn't poor as such. It was just unlucky, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from their form
So
and how
when a
they're playing.
red card happens in like the
Yeah,
first 5 minutes, you have
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Absolute
like it
disruption.
you can
Absolute
do.
disruption.
I
You should
mean
have seen
whatever
Maresca's face.
I am sympathizing with Maresca only
Yeah,
because like I have seen even Klopp make like horrendous decision when he was 10 men down.
yeah.
So I cannot say that he did like he thought maybe he could control the game, but had he known that United will also Casemiro will also do Casemiro.
I was just so relieved when Casemiro got his red card in the sense, not because of the episode, but I was just relieved that United had scored two before that. If they were just one up, I don't think United could have salvaged 3 points from this match. It would have
Even
been
if we
very
had,
tough.
I'd say even if we had Neto on the pitch, we would
Yes,
have maybe
any one
gotten a
attacker,
draw
yeah,
out of
Yeah.
that.
it would have made a difference. Definitely
Yeah.
made a
Yes.
difference. You didn't
And
have
the
any creative
fact
outlet.
the best part, so while we were watching the game and we were on our WhatsApp, so Aman was obviously shattered, but Vimarsh was like, "Don't worry, there has been a red card. United will do the same."
Yes, I told him.
He
So he
was
was
he
like,
was very confident on them.
yeah, Aman was something like, this is so disappointed. I said, give United a chance. Just wait.
Yeah.
Because I knew something would happen, and it came in the form of Casemiro's red card. To be very
No,
honest,
I was.
it was a little this thing. To be very honest, he did get the ball, but I mean, he had his arms around the player, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't complain about it.
But it's
Yeah.
it's better than Maguire scoring own goal. So
Yeah. All right. Lastly,
win-win.
Newcastle, Arsenal. Any word on that? Looks like a
Yeah, it's a
nil-nil.
very
Yeah,
looks
Arsenal
like a
win
very cagey. No, I think it's going to be an Arsenal win. Maybe a
1-0.
difficult cagey affair, maybe a 1-0 kind of an Arsenal
Yeah,
win. I don't
yeah.
see Newcastle scoring. I think Anthony's still out this week,
No, Gordon is
so
back.
oh,
Gordon is back.
he's back.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think he served
But
his
yeah, I mean, in
ban.
general, their attack is not really working out, is
Yeah.
what I can understand. It's not, but yeah, they're solid defensively. But I think I'll give it to Arsenal to break them down at
I
least
think
for
this
one
Yeah.
goal.
is this game week
What
I'm
about Liverpool and
keeping,
Crystal Palace though?
That would be interesting.
but
Yeah, I
Crystal
mean,
Liverpool,
Palace away is
Spurs
very
versus
like
United, no?
we hate Selhurst Park for viewers and everyone. I think Liverpool hates going to that ground. We have lost a
But
title on that ground. We have been humiliated 5-3 once under Brendan Rodgers over there. So there have been a lot of
do you think Eze
instances.
starts?
Yeah, I think he starts, but
Yeah, he
for
should.
40 minutes, I think 40, 45 minutes. First
Yeah.
half he'll play the similar. And I don't want to comment on Ekitike because he's done what no other striker at Liverpool has done in the first 5 games. It's better than Torres and Suarez. So
What did
I
he do?
have
Get a
to,
red card?
yeah, that plus scoring 4 goals and an assist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing really well, but I think it was a little immature on his part. I think he's a little
Yeah,
insecure with
yeah.
this. Is what I felt. What
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
is what
yeah.
is the vibe I got.
That's
I
why.
mean,
But
it was Carabao Cup,
yeah,
and
and he
he's
took out his
doing
I
shirt
know
in
that
the
and
happened.
showing
Cristiano.
his shirt like Messi.
Yeah,
As if
like
he's
I know.
Cristiano.
Messi. I
It
mean,
wasn't
come
happening.
on, come on, really?
All the effort was made by Chesa, and he just tapped in the goal, and I don't know from where he got that remote his shirt
His
and showing it
insecurities
to the whole
just
crowd.
No,
So
surfaced.
it's okay if you remove the shirt, throw it away, do a celebration. It's made it worse by showing it like that to the
Yeah.
supporters. It was
do
And
such
then
a
you,
cringe
Frimpong was the
moment.
funniest. Frimpong throwing to him and
Oh
saying,
Yeah,
yeah,
"Love you."
coming and
if
he's
you
scolding
guys
him
had
like,
to
what are
predict,
you?
if you guys had to, like, I have a trivia for you guys. If you had to think last player in Premier League to get a red card for something like this,
Just tell me the year.
oh
it's in last
I
decade
had
only.
that player for not for similar thing, but something during the throw in. Martinelli
So
put his hand or
I'll give
pushed him,
you
and he got a red card for
that
that.
player has played for City and Liverpool both.
Sterling.
Balotelli.
Oh, I was going to say Balotelli. I was going to say.
Oh,
I was going to say Balotelli.
But he also did in a similar cup fixture. I think FA Cup
Hmm.
it was.
Oh yeah, he was wearing some undershirt, right? Where
Why
he had
always
That he
written
me?
always wear with some message and all.
some message or something. Always,
Why
yeah.
That he
always me?
always wears.
Why always me?
But the thing is, we'll come to the discussion later on as well. And I want to discuss this. This is like a query on my part as well. We'll
Yeah.
discuss about having Isaac in our drafts. Is that a
Yeah.
Yeah,
possible
Hmm.
let's.
possibility or bad
Okay.
one? But we'll discuss that later.
So
So
let's
let's
discuss
get to the
why are we on a wildcard six first of all, and why are Varun and Suraj not on a wildcard six?
Just showing everyone our teams. My team especially would just explain why I'm on a wildcard. Not sure about you, but yeah.
No,
I
so
mean
in general, like, what's the situation like? For a lot of players, for a lot of teams, I'd say we have picks who've not really worked out as we'd
Correct.
expected. Picks like Wirtz, picks like Rogers and
Watkins.
Watkins. I mean, imagine Rogers and Watkins. Basically, they've had 10 blanks between them. That's absolutely unexpected. Not even one return from two
Konsa has
players.
given more points than Rogers and Watkins.
No, yeah,
combined.
again, like Konsa, I'd say not as many players did actually put Konsa on the team, but again, yeah, he too has been poor. And then, and alongside that, we're also losing team value every week because of these picks not really working out. So there are issues in the defense. There've been certain injuries. Maybe you're carrying a Palmer. Maybe you were carrying uh, you know, uh,
Aston
SAR,
Villa
and you had to
players.
make all those changes. Uh, Things like Wood, who are not all of a sudden looking so secure in the team, their position not looking as secure, even though they have a good fixture this week. So all of this combined, and the fact that when when personally, when I sat down and tried to do some planning for the future game weeks and try to see, when could I next, how far off can I hold the wildcard chip, I realized that in the process I have to take a few hits along the way, at least. So for my team it felt like I would end up taking two hits. So the decision sort of came about itself, wherein why to take hits, why to burn all my transfers, and why to alongside that lose so much of team value that I cannot get to the best team by the time I get to wildcard. For me, my team especially, it was more important because I'm yet to use bench boost. So I need to ensure that at least till my bench boost is done, I do have enough value to be able to set my bench decently, right? So all of these decisions felt like that I should rather wildcard, save one transfer from the previous week, add up a few more, and then make changes as and when required when some there is new and certain information out there, instead of waiting, or dragging my team along in some
Yeah.
manner. So for
Yeah.
me, that was why
I'll
I
add one more reason to your list of reason why, in terms of teams and players not performing. I think we did not anticipate Salah's output to decrease so much. And also the idea when we started the season was that around game week 7, we'll kind of onboard like Saka, Gyökeres or Saka or an Arsenal defense, and that will be fine, and we won't have to break our structure for that because you have already Salah in there, and it's a midfield position that you'll have to upgrade and get like Saka along because that system structure was still possible. Now,
Right.
how Haaland position has in terms of output changed and looks like he is going to be that standout player, unlike how his form decreased last year. Last year, what happened was on a lower XG, he was outperforming and then he kind of regressed back to the normal thing. But here in this case, it looks like he's still going to get many goals. Like there are, if we talk from shots in the box, his presence overall in the game, the chances that he's kind of getting, and how Reinders, Foden, and Doku are kind of performing right now, all trying to deliberately put the ball to Haaland. And he looks like that sole goal scorer right now. Like if I just tell you that City won 3-0, now you will not think of that. Is there any other false player scoring a goal? You directly think it could be a Haaland hat trick in most cases, right? So that's how like the narrative is around him right now. So I think it was fair that if you are breaking your team once for all, and there are Salah plus two, three more problems, as Aman had stated in the last pod as well with those visuals, that if you have Salah and no Haaland and you have couple of issues, then it makes sense to wildcard right now and then like restructure your journey from there. Vimanshu,
So,
what's
I
like?
mean, in terms of a pro, it helps you save all of their team value by
Yeah.
getting in the
Exactly.
players who are rising and weeding out all the players who are, falling in the team value. You get second, you get all your DefCon, players, defenders sorted in one go. I think it's become very, very clear who are going to be the DefCon monsters in that term, and it's also all of a sudden very clear that you now DEFCON is definitely above your attacking return because
Hmm.
DEFCON with some players DEFCON is a certainty. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden those players are no longer a 2 point floor players, they are a 4 point floor players, and that over a over a long period will always trump however many attacking returns. And now we don't have players like Trent or Robertson, of their prime, when that who will get all those goals and assists almost every second match. So it is very easy to now get those DEFCON players. Secondly, you sort your team out. You get the Arsenal picks for their run from seventh, game week 7. You get your other City players sorted. You get Haaland into your team. You save
Hmm.
your extra transfers if you have any
Yeah.
accumulated, and plan your future accordingly. It's fine. You with if you're able to save enough transfers, you will be able to restructure your team in about 2 to 3 game weeks down the line, whatever
Right.
is required.
Yeah, so
Right.
just to add on to that, so the thing is, a lot of us based our first game week teams on the fact that on the anticipations we had based on pre-season form as well, right? And that ended up not faring so well because of the fact that a lot of us have deadwood in our teams. Like for me personally, I have a lot of players week in week out that I didn't want to play, but I was playing them, right? So for
Hmm.
players like me and to some extent you as well, Aman, so this gives
Hmm.
us a
Yeah.
chance to basically get rid of them, get our teams up to speed, and just like go on from there. And in my case especially, I've already played the bench boost as well, so it makes all the more sense for me as well. And apart from that, I also gained a lot in team value by wildcarding in time, and
Yeah.
that will play a huge, very important role later on as well. Like I straight
Hmm.
up gained zero point 0.4 or something like that because of the price gains in like a day.
Actually, you might have actually gained zero point 0.6 by now because three of
Yeah.
your players have actually
Yeah.
dropped in. So the delta is zero point 0.6 now,
That too,
right?
yeah, exactly my point. Like some of the players, like when I took them out, like now they've dropped, so I've gained a lot. Like so that's there are multiple reasons to do it right now. There are multiple reasons to do it later, absolutely based on your team, and this pod will help you just to find out what your reasons are.
I mean, on the contrary, if somebody it's not like you have to wildcard. So you can obviously always wildcard even next week if you feel like you have the
A
team
lot
in
of people are
place.
thinking of 7 as well, like with
Yeah,
an extra week of information. Also, I forgot to
exactly.
address this fact that Varun, you mentioned that we didn't anticipate Salah's points dipping. We actually did anticipate it. It's just that we are not actioning on our anticipations. We did anticipate Salah's points will dip
Yeah.
multiple times. So it's just that. there are a lot of things that we are like discussing here, after analyzing data and stuff like that, but we need to incorporate that in our team, and that's applicable for every manager in general. Go with your gut.
Almost certain, we were almost certain, like, so we wanted to obviously test that theory.
Yeah,
First 4 game week sort of did show that Salah is not as he was last season, but then
correct.
last two match, all of a sudden, he has almost resurged as a,
That's true.
key player in the
Also
team. So
because
now
Haaland
again,
has
Yeah.
there's
been
a
scoring
confusion.
consistently. That's also
And
because of the
that's why
fact that
you're seeing
Haaland has been
the
scoring.
Salah
Yeah.
plus Haaland drafts are also getting popular on this current wildcard.
True.
So
True.
that's what helps. If you are not wildcarding, you will get this clarity by say game week. If you are planning to wildcard in game week 7 or say game week 8,
Right.
it helps you get a clear picture of who are going to be the most important picks from team like Arsenal, team like Liverpool, and if at all Foden you can get, you can be very sure whether you want to get him on a wild card. For somebody right now, it is a 50-50 decision to go with Foden,
Right.
but if he is in form, you can make that decision very easily, right? And then you don't need to have your Spurs pick also if you're delaying the wild card by say a week or two.
Right.
And if you are doing that, you also get to play bench boost immediately. If you have not played till yet, you can plan your bench boost say in game week 8 if you're wildcarding 7, and or you can plan your bench boost in game week 9 if you're wildcarding in 8. So it gives you a much better planned team for those, for bench boost also. For me, I'm planning to bench boost in, for example, game week 8. It is
Mhm.
still 2 weeks away. So I might require a couple of transfers by then to sort
Mhm.
my team out. So these are the
Yeah.
advantages that you can, gain by not wildcarding right now.
Yeah.
And
Also,
yeah,
one.
if you are like Suraj, who has a perfect team for now and future, like I feel he doesn't need to wildcard the season. He's that well set.
Until
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
If Salah and Haaland both perform, yeah, I don't have to wildcard. Uh, but yeah, one point I wanted to make, difference between game week 6 and game week 8 wildcard is, a lot of people have Poro, Semenyo, all those picks who have a good and decent game week 6 fixtures. So if you
Forest.
can delay, yeah, if you can delay, surely you should wait for game week 8, because as Aman said, you will have more information on Saka, Isak, and who was the third guy you were talking about?
Gyökeres. I don't know.
Gyökeres, like how
Gyökeres,
Yeah.
Gyökeres
Yeah.
yeah,
and Saka do well together, right?
right.
Whether they do, and then yeah, I think there are other things like you don't need to carry your Tottenham players into beyond game week 8 or 7, right? They're good. They just have the best fixtures in the next two. We can see over here on the ticker that they have Wolves now and then Leeds. After that, it's not an easy run, I would say, right?
Yeah,
Villa home, Everton away,
Yeah.
Chelsea
I think
home,
you'll have to
United home,
offload.
Arsenal. So
yeah.
they're basically here for the 2 weeks only, and that's why I'm also having to make a decision whether to keep a Spurs player in my team long term. So these decisions will be automatically made for you if you delay a wild card.
Totally. I think I'll just quickly summarize the pros. Pros, I think we've
Oh, sorry,
summarized.
one last big pro. If you wildcard in 8, you are wildcarding after the international break. Gives you
Yes.
2 weeks of time, a
Yeah.
lot of time to tinker and manage any injuries if at all,
Yep.
which
And
we won't have, which
See,
Game Week 6
anyway, if
wildcarders
you
won't have.
wildcard after like if you are delaying your wildcard, anyway, you'll have that edge of latest information and reacting to that. So we can always say that people wildcarding in it can be probably a one or two player ahead of what was the optimal game week 6 wildcard team. But I think team value, if you are banking upon team value, if you're banking upon a structure which takes you a longer way, and if you've already kind of played in your mind and created that journey up till game week 13, that how you will be able to mitigate that particular fixture swing then. So I think if that is possible, then it is fair, like playing game week 6. People have played in game week 4 and done pretty well with that. I think with game week 8, and as Suraj rightly said, the only point of holding right now and letting the not worrying about the team value is that you already have a structure ready for 6 and 7. And if someone has a structure ready for 6, I think probably a United player more will be needed in 7. or maybe a Saka. So I think you are just one transfer away, which you can still do in game week 7, and you can have a very balanced team for both these 2 game weeks. Now, after that, game week 8, I think in the international break, it's almost 20, 25 days away from right now. So given how injuries have played out so far in the season, that is where you we can have an edge, and that is again an anticipation that if I'm doing in game week 8, which also I'm trying to think that I can with my team, I can even uh, extend that till game week 13. But again, I'm losing on a lot of players. I'm losing on team value. There will be probably some players for which I'll have to take hit. And given the number of chips we have right now, it doesn't make sense to like take multiple hits in this particular season. I know the situation this season in the initial game weeks has been so with injuries and players not performing that we had to react. But it calls for that game week 8 wildcard may or may not be very different. Like
The team
in
might
game,
not be too different from game
yes,
week
game
6. I
week 6.
agree.
So it is
And
just
that's what
about
I also understood that, second decision for me, game week 8 is a great bench boost week as well. So I've all, if either I could have, free hitted in game week 6 on Haaland, and then probably I was trying to figure out if I can get to game week 8 with the good bench boost team, which I already had.
right.
And for that I was able to figure out that I would need like Arsenal picks
Hmm.
by game week 7 and 8, and they I could not get to them without hits. So if I were anyway going to take hits, why not just wildcard right now and
Hmm.
get my desired bench boost, or the bench also sorted for game week
Hmm.
8 or even game week 9 if somebody's interested into that. So yeah, the alternative could be you can still do that wildcard in 8, and have game week 9 is a great week to bench boost as well.
Right.
So yeah.
I think after
And by
this,
the way, if from this point onwards, since now almost everybody at least has Haaland in their team by means of a free transfer or a wild card,
yeah,
you will realize you are never too far off from the ideal game
Yeah.
wildcard team.
yeah.
You're always going to be like 4 players away.
Yeah, I
Then you
think if
will,
people have moved into this game week with 2 free transfers, right, then they are sorted with the wild card and those 2 FTs that will carry forward with you in the game week 8 and then moving forward. So that is an edge always that you will have. So I think fair shout. The only con that I see is like Haaland triple captaincy is something
yeah,
that I'm weighing for this game week that could be an edge where a lot of people will be on wildcard and I can get 3 points effectively 13 players for this game week with the triple captain. So that's where a slight edge is there. Although
true.
in all like from an FPL sense, wildcard is a much more important chip than triple captain. Triple
So that
captain,
was the way up, right? Like
yeah,
if I had to basically, while triple captain, for me it felt like I'd lose too much of team value to get the team I would have liked to have. And I know what kind of a player I am. I would
yeah,
never be happy with that kind of a team, so I didn't want to delay that decision.
right. So
But you're right.
now,
Like if you have to triple captain Haaland, probably the next time you can do it is in game week 13 when he plays at
Leeds.
home against Leeds.
Yes,
yeah, so
that's what I said
that
in
is
the
a
last
midweek.
podcast. That's a better
That is
option.
a midweek
And
fixture.
that is a midweek.
And game week 14, obviously. So there is a short turnaround there. So we've highlighted it's a midweek fixture. So if you want to triple captain, it's with a caution. Plus, Marmoush will be back. So the goal share can be
Yeah.
like a bit shared there as well. Then if Salah is our triple captaincy shout, then Isak and Salah, that confusion. But I think by that time it will get more clear.
Yeah.
Another good shout is I think West Ham in game week 17, but I don't know whether Potter will be the manager till then. So
I think Potter will not be manager
After
after
2 games.
international break.
yeah,
He
yeah.
is going
But I think there
right
has been
before
a
international.
They have already spoken to Nuno about the role.
Yeah.
So I think
Oh,
that's going to happen.
Oh,
Yeah. So
so
yeah, I mean,
West
West
Ham
Ham
defense.
defense should start to do well. I'm not so sure
Yes.
about their attack, but
I
yeah,
mean,
I
their
mean,
defender was giving attacking. He's given 3 assists, Diouf, but it's not been translating into like enough points. Like he gives an assist, gets a yellow card, just gets 3 points. He's done it like 2 times already. 3 assists he's
So
given. should got me.
Aman and Vimarsh, now we're into the wildcard discussion. Now, from the fixture ticker and like maybe your game sense as well, what you've seen so far.
Yeah.
From this, what do you think are the key teams to target? And then we'll obviously move to our player pools, which is a mix of all the player good or bad fixtures. But which structure you feel like is good enough to target and the teams that we can leverage for this particular wildcard?
In the immediate short term, I think firstly we need to keep in consideration Spurs for at least the next 2 game weeks. That is before the international break. After that, just sorry. So apart from that, I think City for the long term is a team that we definitely have to target. Also, we need to keep in mind when we if we do our wild card this week, which we are doing from game week 7, Arsenal's fixtures also turn, so they're picking the right pick there. If it's you pick Gyökeres or you pick Saka or anyone like whoever's starting there, so that pick also becomes very important. Apart from that, it's also I think a lot will depend on the combination of defenders you pick because I believe out of the six
Hmm.
or seven attackers, everyone is picking the same in the wildcard
Yeah.
draft. It's mostly the
True.
same. A lot will depend on what kind of defenders you pick, and even in defenders, I think a lot of people are picking Senesi. A lot of people definitely are going for Arsenal defense. So even there, I think 2 or 3 places are locked in. So I think it's going to be a game of very fine margins in terms of your wildcard draft, how you excel compared to the others. In the end, it's a competition. So it'll be a very this thing, but I feel it'll depend mostly on your defenders because attackers they're going to be the same.
Hmm. True. I fully agree. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of teams to target, it's clear, at least if you're on a wildcard six, it's going, you need to be targeting City, first of all. You need to be targeting Arsenal for their run. Then you can also look at Newcastle just from the defensive point of view, since from game week 7, they have a good fixture run, I'd say. And Tottenham, you can make a call. You can always plan a transfer because they're good for the next 2 weeks, and the next two fixtures are really good. So it's worth keeping somebody from Spurs point of
Right.
view. And then beyond that, it's more to do with the structure of the team, right? On the wild card, all of a sudden, it's become very, very attack heavy. The wildcard is basically letting you go very cheap on your defense, maybe keep one premium defender and go cheap all otherwise, and it lets you have a very high, very heavy attack up forward. And the attack is pretty much become a template. It's going to be Haaland, Pedro, and Gyökeres. That's the template. At least out of these three, Haaland and Pedro are nailed in every team. Maybe there are certain question marks on Gyökeres where you can maybe choose to play or not, depending on your play style or and your thinking.
Right.
But yeah, these
Thoughts
are
on
this
Everton,
is
Aman?
yeah,
Everton.
Everton again, like Everton for the I see Everton as a team which will keep returning every now and then in the long run. They have a
Hmm.
mixed fixture run throughout,
Yeah.
but like game week 6, it is a team to definitely attack. You need to have an attacker like NGI or
Yes.
Grealish,
Mhm.
and if you are thinking of a bench boost game week 8, then you can't keep Grealish because he is ineligible to face Manchester City in that game week.
Oh, I
So
didn't know
then
that.
automatically the choice becomes NGI, right? So at least one defender is one attacker from Everton in India, I think is a must.
Hmm.
You can take a call on Tarkowski or if whether you want to
There's
keep
one more
him or
dilemma
not.
I have with respect to Everton midfield, like picking up NDI or Grealish. The thing is, a lot of people are anticipating set piece goals conceded against, like by West Ham, right? And from what I've seen of Everton, a lot of these crosses and assist potential passes are coming from Grealish from the left flank. So I am just torn between NDI and Grealish, also because of the fact that my team value in my team current draft, I have NDI, but I have the exact amount to get in Grealish. So the thing is,
I'll,
it's a very difficult pick between these two right now. The only additional thing that's in favor of India is he's on pens,
Yeah,
but again and Grealish doesn't play in 8 as you just informed. But the thing is, only 6 is good for Everton. 7 is tough. It's Crystal Palace. I'm not sure they'll score.
But
Then
it's a
City,
home game for Everton, so I will
it
still
is,
give
but
them a.
yeah,
I
I
mean, yeah, but I wouldn't expect considering from a FPL potential. Like
But
I
yeah,
would.
Sar will be back. We are not discussing him at all.
like
No, we're
So I
discussing
just
yeah.
Everton
want,
right now.
Also,
That's a yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Sar
have a
could
solution. I have a solution or an option for you, Vimash. You can
yes,
start with Kudus, go for 2 or 3 game week. Even
I
in
have
game week
Kudus.
8, he plays
Yeah.
Villa.
Right.
Then move to Grealish when the
Yeah,
fixture's done.
I think a fair call. Booking a transfer, but it's like you anyway going to make.
But you gain all as well. It's not like you're just
But then what if you're going
randomly
with
putting
both
someone.
Kudos and NDI? What do you do?
No, then you have a good window to get Paqueta later on. I think from
Yeah, or
game
Sar.
week, game week 8.
Uh, yeah, let's see. Let's when we discuss our drafts, we'll discuss that. But I'm not in favor of Paqueta right now. Let's see once the manager changes. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
So
like this is all about game week 6, game week 8 draft. Varun, you're of the opinion that you want to go for a game week 13 draft. Why don't
Yeah.
you talk about that? Game week 13 wildcard. My bad. So what's the
so
thinking over there,
I
and how do you
have
think people can manage by up till game week 13 without a wildcard?
so I like the players that I don't like. I don't have like I'll just bring up my team after this view. So my thought process is obviously I will the only thing concerning me is team value and how far I am from the best optimal wildcard team. That is what I'm thinking. So I in my back I already have Richards, I already have Tarkowski, and for the upcoming two game weeks I do have a Spurs lineup. The things that is not working out for me is Nottingham. So I need to just offload Cells and Murillo in like in the all scheme of things and probably Kudus, right? So I already have the front three structure of Gyökeres by going with him from the start of the season. I already got Pedro to Watkins, which has already given me returns. Haaland I could move because of two free transfers. So like in terms of an attacking shape, I think I'm good for the next two game
Yeah.
weeks. Because if I get Bruno also, I can hold him for a longer time. I don't mind holding him. Or if like it's the Saka narrative that I will decide upon whether it is Saka, although looks better because you can trust him for a longer duration. And if you want to pivot to from Isak to Isak, Gyökeres position can be utilized for that as well in releasing funds from elsewhere. The only place that I'm lacking is I do have Semenyo. So the only place I'm lacking is Senesi. Is that a big issue if I consider the likes of defender I have right now in Tarkowski, Richards, Romero, and I think I do have Steve as well in my team. So I think rotation mix is there. People are going with two Everton picks that I'm seeing in many, which are Tarkowski and I've seen Dewsbury Hall, so I have Dewsbury Hall in my team. Reinders is also already there. So there is not much I have to break, which makes me think that I might not like I'm already there. Like a hit will obviously take me exactly there, and a transfer more in for Cells to Raya will make me optimally equal to the wild card. So I'm like three transfers away, which makes me feel that it's still not too much that I should be breaking my team structure for that entirely. Plus, I like my team for the next two game weeks. I've
Yeah.
thought about the best bench boost window also. I do see that I have an opportunity with the same team in game week 8 and 9 both. So I think that that makes me feel that should I be doing wildcard then because I will lose that opportunity of bench boosting then also. So you can imagine that I'm kind of fixated
Mhm.
with my team till game week 9. And after
Right.
that, I feel like there is hardly any game week that you can target a fixture swing, which is then because see the optimal
It's a
plan of wild.
After game week 9 is just the Chelsea fixture swing actually,
Yeah,
to be
which
honest.
again I have Pedro, and maybe if Palmer becomes fit, if there is an opportunity for me to, because I have that
Right.
position where I can rotate or maybe get like a Chelsea defender if required. But Pedro is there. Like there has to be an influence in your team to be that. And
Let's just see your team only, no, Varun.
I'll
Next
have to pull
is your
that,
team.
but I don't have
Okay, okay,
the right now. But
No, but
I
yeah,
think
I mean, so the point you're making it is absolutely bang
okay.
on. So if
yeah,
if anybody has a team which looks pretty much in a good shape, and you can see that you're just 2 to 3 transfers away from the
Yes.
most optimal team, I don't think there is a requirement to go
yeah,
and wildcard. You need to assess how long your team is good for, like whether it's for the next 2 weeks only, or whether for you can even manage with the free transfers till say the next 5 to 6 game weeks. And if that is the case, then obviously the better window to wildcard is game week 13, when fixtures turn for good for both City and Liverpool together.
Yeah,
So that would be a very key week to manage. And for all of us like who have already wildcarded, we need to keep in mind to keep saving transfers along the way to be able to manage in that game week.
yeah,
If
yeah,
it requires us to bring in Salah back into our team, how are we going to do that?
yeah.
Are we spreading the funds too much for us to get back to, a Haaland and Salah structure in the team? So all these considerations, a
Yeah.
wildcarder right now needs to think about.
Yeah, the only
So
thing is,
I'll just,
I think that
I don't know whether
going
my,
forward,
yeah,
the Salah Haaland thingy in the wild card draft is going around a lot. But what I think, and this is personally based on my call, I think that going forward we won't need Salah Angel. I think we'll replace him with Isaac. So I don't think
yeah,
we need to like get Salah now. Is what I feel. That's my call. That's why I'm not getting Salah. That's the only reason. I'm gonna get Isaac if I need. I will never get Salah unless he does what he did last season, something like that. And I feel a lot of FOMO. I'm not getting
But yeah,
Salah.
I mean, we cannot ever write off him now. I mean,
I
sure,
mean,
I
we
think the
are not writing him off.
expectation
He's
is,
still getting
see,
returns.
expectation, you're right, is that
Yeah,
we might not need him, and the goal share
correct,
will be such that
correct.
Isak will be good enough.
Yep.
But what if it doesn't turn out like that? It's
Then we
just that
do it as it
all I'm
comes. Like,
trying to say is you need to be prepared
yeah,
for either Isak or Salah.
no, but
It's like that.
practically speaking, when in the past, Salah was like in the last season itself, Salah was just an absolute monster, right? We've seen 5 game weeks now, and now we know there's Wirtz, Ekitike, Gakpo is playing regularly, and we now know that Isaac is the now he's the one who's going to lead the line now. So we know those facts for sure now. So I don't think Salah is going to get those numbers. We've discussed it in the past also. He won't get those numbers now.
yeah,
He is, by the way, he is still giving returns. Jesse,
Hmm.
like he beat penalties or whatever, he's still given I think 2 or 3 odd goals and an assist or two, right, in 5 games.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
bad. It's just that he's 14 million, and I think
For
Isak will offer more value for money going forward.
yeah.
yeah,
So I've
he's
managed to
consistent
get my,
that
like,
way.
if you want to discuss the journey that I am thinking, like, this
Yes.
is how the team is. Like, if I play triple captain this week, so this is the team. Now, basically, I don't have Senesi and Raya, is what I think in my team currently.
Correct.
Kudus can again be offloaded. I don't have any transfers left, so these are the two FTs I used. Now, game week 7, if I look at my team, I am probably going to move words to Bruno. Like how the things look like could be a captain because he's a captain shot for that game week. So that could be my transfer. Again, the back line is decent enough for this game week. I can play Sales or Dubravka either way. That is again fine. Then game
So
week 8,
so
Just a minute. Go
1 second,
back.
yeah. If you go to
Are
your game week 6, okay, first you go ahead.
yeah,
yeah, are
game
you
week 6.
seriously considering Fernandez captain over Haaland? Haaland
No,
plays
I'm saying
Brentford,
if
I
it
think.
is, if he's a captaincy shout, then I should be keeping him in my team for that game week.
Right. Okay,
Okay,
makes
my
sense.
only thing here in this game week 6 16 that you have right now is I would rather play Dewsbury Hall against West Ham than Words against Crystal Palace.
I mean, the narrative that I have there is like he could be playing 90 minutes,
Quite possible. I could be
and
wrong
then
there, but I would
forward.
rather play him in
I
different
Like
data.
so, if he's false nine, then I think there. But I think it's a call that I have to make. I'm
you can bench Gyökeres.
I
It's
can
against
bench
Newcastle.
Gyökeres. I think I can
Yeah.
bench Gyökeres also.
The question there again, the million dollar question again is Gyökeres worth the money again? That's also
See,
something
But
which
I
I
think
don't know
he
enough.
can
he's
shift
good
it to
against.
Isak,
This
not
is
He's
a
good.
this is not a wild card. This is his team,
yeah.
so
This
he
is
I
his
know
doesn't have
team.
a.
No,
I
I
have him
mean,
in my wild card,
even
so
with
that question
even
eventually
with
falls.
Gyökeres, the idea is right now with Saka, he was 10 million because he had penalties. Now he's
Hmm.
9 million with penalties. So may or may not be. And Saka and Eze are both going to make Gyökeres better, right? Because with all those outlets. So I
Saka is
think
a
that,
creator. Yeah.
Gyökeres is the destroyer.
yeah. So game week 7, this will be like after getting Bruno, this will be the team. I can even bench boost in this game week also because my bench is Cells, Murillo. I
Yeah,
can take a
decent.
hit. Yeah, take a hit maybe to get Murillo to also, and then also bench boost. That is also fine with me. But again, this is also good game week. Game week 8, I don't think so. I can bench boost because like Dewsbury Hall and Tarkowski are playing City, so that is going to be there. But this game week I have flexibility to move one of my like either Romero or your
Murillo. I
Murillo.
think
Murillo
Murillo
to
makes sense to move
Remove.
to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Arsenal
should be your
defender.
first. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So if let's say I take him out and get Gabriel, and I will have money, like it's not like it's value is not a concern. So that's why I'm thinking why to even worry. Now, bench boost 9 is where I'm thinking because teams look sorted. I don't have to do much. Like all the players are still playing. Sales is playing Bournemouth away, can be a clean sheet game. Like at
Maybe you
least
can take out Romero since you have two Everton players in the team and he plays against two Everton, you know, I mean, one defender and an attacker.
So what is
Basically,
my like okay, so
What?
my transfer in this game week was I made Kudus
yeah,
out to
Paqueta. Hmm.
yeah. So
Makes
that
sense. Makes
so
sense.
Paqueta is a better pick for this game week.
Right, right,
So
right. Yeah.
What
I
was
mean,
your
at least
second option for?
Romero could actually score some DEFCON points at the
yeah,
least.
it's
So yeah,
like 4 pointer. So if I even bench him and let's say get Steve here, who could get a clean sheet in this game week against Wolves also.
yeah,
So they can that could be a good fixture.
yeah.
Richards
This is
can
a good
also
week.
yeah,
What
Yeah.
was your second option for bench boost? Was it 7 or 8?
yeah, 7 this
I
one.
think 7 is better for you than 9.
So we can just compare. So if I do in 7, yeah, it gives me 16-point edge over this has 13-point edge. So that is a fair call again. And then I think 10 to 12 I can navigate. I don't want to like go directly to that, but it's like more about rolling the transfer so that
Yeah.
for 13 you have like good enough team for and I was thinking free hit 11. So this is my free hit 11 team, which is where City and Liverpool are playing each other. And if I play free hit 11 in this one, then basically my current team can go till 13 and I'll have two free transfers or three free transfers in game week 13 to get two Liverpool players at least and then be sorted with because I will have a Haaland structure still and I can
Right.
still play that. So
So
that's
you
that
Yeah,
you
this
that
made up
was
your mind to
basically
do
gives a
wildcard
good idea
13,
to
right?
everybody who's who feels that whether they can manage without a wild card or not.
yep.
This is clearly a
But this is for wildcard
literal
13, right?
demonstration.
Wildcard
So
13
Yeah, wildcard
yeah,
Yeah,
13.
that's a strategy. Yeah.
makes sense.
Let's now discuss about the wildcard back. So, in terms of current wildcard, and even if people are looking at players from that angle, like these are the potential picks. We've segregated premium, mid-price, budget, and differentials. Any standout or like you guys want to mention? I know like the five midfielder seems to be sorted in terms of Semenyo, Endai. There is Bruno in there. Could be Saka if like there are narratives around him. Then I think one of Kudus or Xavi is
Rangers is
also
there.
Rangers
Rangers is a
obviously.
lock.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Rangers is there and
Rangers
Stack
is a lock.
or Dewsbury Hall interchangeably are also considered. But if you
Correct.
don't want to double up on
Yeah.
Everton midfield, but yeah, like any other pick you guys think we are missing out on or like any player like for worth a shout. I think I would wanted to put Cunha, but given he got
No, I
injured
No,
at the
I'd always pick between either
Bruno.
Fernandes
Bruno
or
and
Bruno
Mbeumo.
or Mbumo.
And just
Yeah.
Bruno, considering what we've seen, two 10 pointers in 5 game weeks is more than enough for me to have him locked in for that for quite some time
so
now.
if you've seen LR's team from FPL Wire, he has currently three United players for next two game weeks, and I feel
Yeah,
that is a huge upside the way they have create getting those chances created with
right,
Mbumo, Bruno, and Dorgu. I think
right.
like that could be an upside which. And I feel Bruno can be even taken forward if Saka doesn't turn out to be that good or like is still a minutes concern. I think Bruno is giving you
Yeah,
four
Bruno is
points.
very much like that staple pick who will keep giving you, decent returns, never insane kind of a haul, and he has it in him to also give that. He
Yeah,
can
Right.
turn up any week and give you a 15 pointer or a 20
yeah,
pointer even, right? But at the very least, you can always keep expecting like somewhere around 5, 6, 7, 8 points any
Yeah.
week, literally
Yeah.
any week.
Yeah.
He has it in him. So yeah, it's a absolutely almost like a no-brainer kind of a pick, and it helps you navigate to any other player like a Saka or Palmer when they turn up, or you're able to see that they're a must have in your team. So he's
Yeah.
like he
So
helps you with the team structure also.
what
Also,
are
this
your
is a very
thoughts on a
exhaustive pool. Yeah, this is a
yeah?
very exhaustive pool. I mean, all the players I've considered keeping in my wildcard draft, all of them are here. It's just that you have these debates between Xavi and Kudus, or
So
maybe
I
Correct.
Kudus.
want to discuss one thing, and there was a draft that I really liked where Bruno was not considered, and that position was Foden, and it lets you upgrade that 5.5. That now you won't be going with Reinders, but you will go with Enzo. Now Enzo being on pens plus Chelsea's like he will play a CAM role for Chelsea. So I think that is also a fair shout because not a lot of value is getting attached to it. I know, so I think we have him as a differential here. But what are your thoughts there? I mean, it's
My
little maverick than the template, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
thoughts on Foden and Enzo kind of a structure.
No,
When you are
rather, I'd
better
say
placed,
I would just have, I would say, first of all, the way Enzo has played in the last 2 weeks is not encouraging. He's been one of the better players last season and up till like before last two game weeks.
Maybe.
But in the last two game weeks, his performance has been very bad. Even in Carabao Cup, he was absolutely tired, and he made so many errors, one of which led to a goal that we conceded in the first half. So I'm not feeling that confident about him. He might even be rested every now and then. And now we also have actually Andre Santos,
yeah,
who can come in and play, and he's been playing very well, Santos. So I'm not very keen on Enzo. Second point, I think Pedro might actually end up taking the pens.
Oh,
He just gave it to Enzo because I think he was very new to the team. He wanted to, build that camaraderie and everything. But I think next time it happens, it is a good chance, not sure, but it is a good chance Pedro himself takes the pen.
right.
So yeah, I mean, Foden in himself is a great shout. I would, consider him seriously.
Right.
And then it helps you go for players like Xavi as well. So if you are going like with a little bit differential, you can go with both Foden and Xavi Simons instead of Reinders and Kudus. So that is where you get the upgrade,
yeah,
and the remaining point 0.5 you can put in your defense if you feel like
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
to
I have a
Also,
upgrade
I
that.
very
feel
interesting question as
when
well. I have a question along the lines of, do you think for in a wildcard drafts and for the next 3 or 4 game weeks, do you think um, Chelsea players are essential?
no,
No, nobody except
4 or 5.
Pedro, I feel.
Nobody
Pedro,
except
yeah,
Pedro.
Pedro
And do you even think one
does.
can go without Pedro for the next 4 or 5, 6 game weeks? Do you think
I mean,
there
I
are
would not be
It
really
is
comfortable before, because I'll tell you what, Pedro is absolutely
fixture
the
proof?
most key player for Chelsea. If
Hmm.
he is not playing, we are not scoring.
Right.
It's become
True.
as simple as that. So
True.
he will
and
be
his ownership.
involved in some way or the
Right.
other. So
Yeah,
and
Exactly.
and
Maresca
his
trusts, and
ownership
we don't
also.
have any striker, by the way. Like
True. Delap is gone for some time.
Yeah,
yeah, and maybe say Gw plays. That if Gw plays, it's actually even better for Pedro because he does well when he is playing in the 10 role.
Yeah,
Pedro does
Goose dropped
much
in
better.
prices, so it's a good time to buy him as well if he's your enabler. He's on 4.3 now.
I mean, but yeah, we have not seen him play. That's the
Yeah.
trouble. Like Maresca has been trouble,
and
trusting Tyreek George over Q.
Right.
Even
yeah,
in
he has a
Carabao
muscle
Cup
injury as well.
even last night again he brought on Tyreek George. So
Right.
I mean, we could actually end up seeing Tyreek George starting as a striker for us in Premier League.
All right. Makes sense.
So
And
And
what about Xavi
same
and
Pedro.
Kudus?
question around Gakpo. Like,
So
is it fair to go with him?
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I I don't think so.
he's
I
not
think
He
essential.
wasn't good in the last game as well.
yeah.
but why are we writing off Liverpool assets completely? Because there are no
Fixtures.
draft. There are just
Because
Fixtures.
we want
two
to
bad
understand
fixtures.
who.
I mean,
No,
they
no,
are playing
because we.
United 3 games later.
So, like, I think that is a
I
fixture that
really
people
want
will.
I really want a, Liverpool striker or a forward for that
Next
fixture
two are
against
away games, but
United.
I think post IB it again
Isak.
becomes a run. So, like, I
Yeah,
think it's like although people might be booking a transfer because game week 8 and game week 6 wildcard draft can only be different because let's say Liverpool does well in the next two games again. So, you would like to want their
Right.
players again.
The thing
correct.
is, we are not
So
writing off
I am
Liverpool.
personally planning for
Isak. I'm
some
planning for
Liverpool
Isak.
player. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm only planning for Isak, no one
people.
else.
Yeah, people are just waiting for more news on Liverpool so that they know
Correct.
whom to buy for long term.
Fair,
It's not
fair.
that they're writing it
I was
off or
actually
anything.
tinkering with a draft wherein I have Isaac and Saka both, so that I don't have to go with Gyökeres, and then I get Arsenal covered as well. And it is possible. I actually created one, but I don't have it ready for this one. But yeah, that is also a possibility for viewers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Varun,
Vimas,
yeah,
just
that's
one.
what I think. It's not that anybody's writing Liverpool off. We're just
Yeah.
waiting for more information to
Yeah,
Yeah.
understand who is the right player to get into the team.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, Vimas,
Let's
to
look at
your
defenders.
yeah.
Pedro point, he's 67% owned. So
Uh,
if he
Yeah, it's very risky to
his
against
whole
that
and
hauls,
position.
his yeah. If
yeah,
he gets a haul,
all your
easily
differential will get
One 12
offsetted,
pointer
basically.
from him, and you are 3 million
gone,
down.
gone. All my hard work gone with the bench boost.
All your wild card gone.
So on game
I
week
know.
6 defender section, I think the budget section is where most money is being placed right now by managers right now. Like I've seen teams with all three Anderson, Richards, Senesi, and then maybe a Tarkowski or a obviously an Arsenal defender could be there, like a Gabriel or Saliba. But some have Guardiola as well there as well. Those who are not going with Donnarumma keeper. So I think a structure, what it looks like is Richard, Senesi, Anderson are important, and then you have two like one 5.5 could be Tarkowski, and then a Gabriel, and then maybe two 4.5s and a 4 mil also, which could be Rodon or Steve again, and then a keeper of maybe Raya, Donnarumma, Pope is also a good shout. So
Petrovic.
thoughts on this particular
Yeah, it's
section.
pretty much like that. It's like exactly, the structure is almost there. Like you want to have maybe, for sure you want to have one premium slot, premium defender slot. You can actually also, think of going without any premium for all, I feel it's fair. You can take the premium defender on. But yeah, I mean, overall in general, it seems like apart from at least one position, because it helps you manage if any premium defender turns up, at least you have the structure to switch to the player. So just because of that, I think maybe you keep one
Yeah,
premium defender in your team, and the rest would be all either three 4.5s and a 4 mil, or two 4.5s and two 4 mils. And
correct.
it's decent enough for almost every week, just because by means of DEFCON you ensure that these defenders, the rest four apart from your premium one, are defcon monsters. As
Right.
simple as that, and you're sorted. You don't have to worry about any opposition they're playing. It is the that conversation is out of the window now. I feel like whom are they playing? They are gonna get 4 points nonetheless. So what?
You want to
Yeah.
dwell on some of
Yeah,
the
and that's
stats
Just
what
of
this
the
is the
one.
table I was about to ask you to bring up. Awesome that you got in. So we were creating this table just because I think really where people are trying to figure out what to do and how to get money out of to bring in those forwards is the defense, and certain key things are be getting highlighted. If you look at it, if you look at points per 90, there are so many players in the 5 million and just below 5 million bracket. That includes Senesi. So they are showing up like crazy. Like Senesi 7.4 points per 90, Burn 6.4, Chaloba 8, Lacroix 6, Romero 6. So these are the value. These are all of a sudden becoming those absolutely high value picks. They are like MVP players. They and now switch to their defcons, which is DC per 90. Lacroix is getting 10, Tarkovsky 12, Romero Burn 9, Senesi 13, highest of anybody, right? So these key players, why are they getting those extra points? Because they're getting these two extra points for defcons. So this is where the value is. And then the other highlight, that key highlight, is you go absolutely down to Rodon, Elderete, Steve, Goodmanson. Again, you see these players are scoring 4 points on an average, even
yeah.
more, right? Goodmanson, Rodon,
That's
4.4,
what they are worth as
4.3.
well. 4 million
So
each.
that's what's making them worth. And if you now lay it over with the expected points over the next 6 weeks, from a 4.4 million defender, you are expecting 20 points in the next 6 game weeks.
That's
How
enough.
is that? So it is like that it is out for the taking, that you can go with these picks. You can keep like Chris Ford, you can keep a Chris Richards, or you can keep Anderson and a Goodmanson Rodon, and just then go with one, say, Saliba or Guardiola or a Gabriel, one of
Right.
any
Yeah,
of these, and you're
right.
good.
Yeah.
Save 1 million, put it in your attack.
You could actually save
That
some
will
money
give you
by
more
not
points.
going with Gabriel or Saliba and just going with Rea. You could save point 0.5, point 0.6. I mean, you
But
would cover Arsenal
Correct,
defense.
correct,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes. I mean,
yeah, if they
uh,
don't have DEFCON, then obviously you can
Yeah,
cover
because
But
I
that.
don't think
we
I don't
have
think they're getting DEFCON game in game out like Arsenal
no
defenders.
no
yeah,
So
Tough
Arsenal
for
defender
them.
do not get DEFCON. Yeah,
yeah, so
California
even
got,
it's
I
hard.
think, in one game.
yeah, even City defenders, I
Yeah.
don't think they're getting
Saliba still
DEFCON.
has that potential, but it's
He
rare
does.
for
Saliba
Arsenal
is close.
defender.
You're
Yeah,
right. So
to
Saliba
get
has averaged 10 DEFCON points per 90 actually, if you
Yeah.
see in the
But,
table.
but then we've discussed
So
this before as well. High possession teams will tend to have the defenders will tend to have lesser DEFCON points.
lesser
Yeah,
Because
DEFCON.
yeah, so
yeah
that's this thing. City might have a potential going forward to get more DEFCON points, their defenders, because they're kind of now playing counter-attacking football instead of possession
Correct.
football. So that
Correct.
could be a shout for Guardiola and folks like that. So that could be a good shout.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But whom are you sure who will start
Guardiola is the only one I
every
can
game
place my
week?
bets on if I had to place
Yeah.
my
I
I
would say
think
at least
Diaz.
Guardiola at least starts 5 out of 6.
Yeah,
You can
Yeah,
be that
yeah.
sure. And I think for
If
any City defender, that's
that's
pretty,
enough.
like
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, yeah.
It's fine. You can manage one benching. Anybody from your bench will anyway get you 4 points in his place. So it's fine.
Yep,
True.
yep, yep. One question to everyone here. If you want to rank Arsenal defenders, who would be your top three?
Gabriel top.
Yeah, for
Over
Just
me,
for
I
the
Saliba
would.
or
name
Califury?
factor.
No, I
Just for
think
the
it's
90 minutes Gabriel.
yeah. With so I've been pondering upon Timber and Califury both. They
Minutes.
help you save like a couple of point 0.2 millions or point 0.3 million in terms of cost, but they're not certain. Like with Champions League, with Carabao Cup, Lewis Kelly and Ben White are really good players, and they
Yeah.
can slot in any week. So I cannot be very sure of their minutes, although they've been playing almost consistently every match up till this point. But you know what happens when we get to December
Yeah.
and there is such a huge fixture congestion? I don't think anybody apart from Saliba or Gabriel play week in, week
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I think it's a
that's
season
right.
where you can
But
rely on center
I
backs easily.
Yeah.
I do feel Calafiori and Timber might play at least till they get a clean sheet, like 60 to 70 minutes, and they might get sub.
I
Uh,
actually
uh,
thought
That's
of
a
that's a very good point. I
that's
actually did
and
think of that.
that's good.
Yeah.
and
Also,
That's
it's a
good.
that's a
also
fair
it's a
shout
trade off.
because Arsenal
Yeah.
tend to concede late goals, even if
Yeah.
they concede.
It yes, that is very true. I'm absolutely on the same page with you on that. I actually agree with that point. That is a possibility. The only thing is you also need to consider playing Calafiori or Timber will also yield a haul once in every 2 or 3 matches, or maybe even every match. But the thing is, they might not play one match. So is that the trade-off you're okay with? That's the only question. And I think, logically speaking, now that I think of it, you could actually go with Timber or Calafiori, what kind of player you are. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right, right.
Finally, on the forward section, so getting to the
yes,
business end of the pod as well. So I think they are picking themselves. Nothing much to like discuss in terms of who are the top picks right now. I think we are already seeing that trend in terms of the template right now with Gyökeres, Pedro, and Haaland being there. Haaland is, by the way, flagged, but it
yeah,
looks like FPL admins are playing a trick so that some casuals are off the wild card or maybe
Triple
off
captain
Haaland for
also.
this week, which is good. I don't mind
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm actually glad, and I'm hoping that Pep gives off nothing in the press conference as well.
so that
I
wild card
want
does
him
get
to.
an
I
edge or a
want
bit
him to
more.
be as vague as possible.
Yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, there are a few fair shouts. Like if you're, I think Wimmer pointed out very well. You could actually go for Saka in place of Gyökeres, and then you could look at Strand Larson in his place. That helps you save the money. Why I say Strand Larson? Because if you keep Strand Larson, you can have both Saka and Bruno Fernandes. So in that kind of a structure, it becomes very interesting. Strand Larsen with Wolves has a very good fixture run in the upcoming weeks, although they've not looked great as a team. But if anybody's scoring goals from that team, you expect Strand Larsen to.
You could
But
also
yeah, I
sit
mean,
down a bit on midfield and defense and get in both Isaac and Saka along with Bruno and Haaland. That is also a very good
Yeah,
draft,
it's
is
just
what.
1 million,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
1.5 million.
exactly. It's just 1.5 million between Gyökeres
So
and Isaac.
if you have a 5.5 million defender along with Gabriel, you
Exactly.
can take it out to 4 million.
Exactly. So
So
that's a very
that's
good possibility. You'll be totally set for the
difficult
future
to
as well,
both.
and covered with Arsenal
see,
midfield.
think of all this when you have when you don't have a bench boost to play. So if there are bench boosts to
Correct.
play,
Yeah, I've
then
already.
Correct.
Okay,
you
yeah.
need to consider from this pool probably, which is obviously a lot of people are doing. But if you don't have bench boost, like get GW 4.3 and like
But
play
then
No, I
or
think
but
for
then you
somebody
also
who's
never.
off bench boost like
Yeah,
Vimarsh, for
yeah.
you, I feel going for a player like Josh King in your team as your fifth, midfielder, whom you're
makes
not
more
gonna play.
sense.
If you have three top forwards up top, you want to play them every week, no matter
Correct.
the opposition. So you downgrade one midfield position absolutely, and then you upgrade your midfield like
Correct. The
anything.
only thing is, I was kind of up until now, the kind of way I was planning my draft was the fact that I had both Gyökeres and I had five playing midfielders as well. So I wasn't gonna play Gyökeres this week in six, and then I was gonna start playing him from seven. Is what how I was planning it. So all my eight attackers
He's
were
just a penalty
playable.
away from a haul. Always remember.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can anyway play him. It won't make too much of a difference if you play some
The
five or
thing,
six 6.5 million
I
kind of a
just yeah.
midfielder in his
The
place,
thing is,
right?
considering I'm playing my wild card, I just want to maximize it in the first game week itself. Is what I'm feeling. Like it's just a natural tendency. Like when you play a wild card,
Fine.
you actually want to
But
start all
you should
confused.
also know. See, again, like it's manager to manager.
Yeah,
For me, I like to keep in players who are good for the next 10-week time frame.
correct,
You
correct.
know,
Fair.
I would rather want to have those sorted picks for whom I don't have to worry about any transfer for at least the next 4 weeks.
So
You
would you
know,
go with
I'm
Gyökeres or Isaac for the next 10 game weeks? Is my question to you.
but I don't know when they start playing or who
Yeah.
plays better than the other.
But that's
That's
not
Yeah.
the
the
point right now.
information I don't
Considering we
have
are
right now.
See,
yeah, correct, correct. But considering we are playing at game week 6, would you go with Isaac? Considering that he's in Liverpool and he might now just start from, if not 6, at least 7, he might regularly start. Or would
I'm
you go
not.
with
I
Gyökeres?
you
am
cannot be
personally.
sure.
I'm not gonna get. I'm
Not
not
sure,
gonna
right?
go with
Hmm.
Isak.
Okay, he could be a differential
I
though.
mean, obviously it could be, but
See,
I would
game
try.
week
I
8
would go
is
with.
where you should start thinking about it. He's not going to
Yeah.
back 20 points in a single game week, like
Exactly.
from the
You never
start.
know.
And
Also,
even if,
if he bags,
Yeah,
yeah,
Also,
you
the
never.
fixtures are not great.
see,
Remember.
I'll tell you one thing. No matter what, Isak becomes our starter. He's never
Yeah,
getting those 90 minutes. You are not benching Ekitike, bro, who has like delivered so much.
I
There
mean, at
will
least
no,
at
be
no.
least
What
when you are
what what can happen
even if
is Gakpo can be benched and Ekitike can play over there. So
no,
that
I
can
think
happen.
Slot has clearly called on that they are my best number nines. So I think Gakpo place is also secure. That's why I mentioned
yeah,
Gakpo, whether we are considering him. So the alternate could be like, yes, if Ekitike is coming from the bench, like 20 minutes he can play from that position for sure, and Isak and him can play interchangeably, or maybe Watts can play on that flank, and both of them in a 4-4-2 kind of a system. So all those things can be done if you are winning and like nothing can be done, and you want to hit and try those combination that can be done. But I think in near future, I think at least till game week 12, I don't think Isak is getting those 90 minutes because think of Champions League also, other cups also,
yeah.
which Liverpool now
Fair
have
enough.
to. This team is obviously made for Champions League winning team, right? So they will be
I'm
doing a
convinced
lot of
to go with
rotation.
Gyökeres. I'm convinced to go with Gyökeres for now. And anyway, I can upgrade him to Isaac. It's just one and a half
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
I think forward pool, I think nothing much to discuss on stats. I think just
Correct.
old quick pointer on Salah triple captaincy that I wanted to mention. Like at least wait till Friday what Pep says. But if you
Haaland. You
look at,
mean Haaland?
oh sorry, yeah,
By
Haaland.
the way, guys, can we take the comments? There are a few comments in the chat.
Also, guys, whoever is on live, yeah, please hit like and subscribe to our feed. We're doing a lot of work. We're putting a lot of hard work to get this content, compile it, and then bring it to you guys. Taking a lot of time out for it to help you out. Please support the channel and hit like and do subscribe
Yes.
to our
I
us, and
agreed.
keep a track of, hit the bell icon so that you can always join in when we go on these live podcasts every week.
I second that.
I three. Never mind. So, like, I just wanted to highlight this, but another pointer we did not have, I did not put Mateta over there. But do you think he becomes like he's not a pick anymore? Because see, the
Not
context
not in the immediate
context is
He's
future.
again that Sar and like see, a penalty taker will always be a pick. That is my
Yeah, that's
rationale
true.
because Bruno is also there in the team for that sole reason. He's playing way back in that team. So again, when I talk about Mateta, like Sar and Wharton being back, Yeremy Pino look good last game. I feel again there will be a trend emerging. So these are all these information I'm saying because they are being discarded completely when you are building game week 16. No one is considering these picks anymore. So, but I feel there are still lot of good picks that are going under the radar. And maybe by game week 8, again, the narrative might shift because it's like a month away from today. So there can be a lot of changes that could be there. Now with Solanke
Yeah,
injury, also, I think there was a comment on a Spurs forum on Twitter that I think he again had a setback. So like he's the not a setback from a surgery or anything, but I think a setback in terms of what is his expected timeline to return. So I think Richarlison is also a short-term pick if let's say you are
Yeah.
thinking of Kudus because if you know from game week 9 Chelsea fixture swing, so if you are targeting next two game week, why not go with a system of Gyökeres, Richarlison and Haaland and then pivot it to book your transfer to Pedro from there on because it's a fair shot because you know for certainty now that he's going to start now.
Yeah, but I mean the fixtures are not great. No, next like
yeah.
this week they're playing Liverpool, so you don't
For
want.
Richarlison, it is good.
No,
Spurs.
I meant for Mateta earlier because
Mateta is,
you
yeah.
start
Fixture
you
is a
Rich,
started
play.
the
isn't
discussion.
isn't Richarlison not a doubt, but substitute prone given that Solanke will be fit
But do
for
not
this
till
Solanke
game
will
week.
not
till
come in
game
for
week
at
8.
least not till game week 8 because he just
That is what.
started grass work. So
Oh, okay.
he's definitely 2 weeks away from
Yeah.
any kind of, and he'll be probably brought in for just a few minutes in the initial few
Mm,
weeks.
So I'm thinking
right.
Simmons will be a regular starter. Now
Yeah, so
Spurs are
that's my
kind of
only million
looking.
dollar question. The Kudos and Simmons, your thoughts, Varun, Aman, Suraj,
I would
between the
I
prefer
two.
think
Simmons
I
Simmons.
have
now.
brought in Kudus for now. Let's see.
Okay.
Simmons, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
mean there is
I
very
haven't seen
fine
him
line
much.
between this. Now I'll tell you the way I am thinking this is I think Simmons has a bigger goal threat than Kudus. From what
Right.
I've seen him historically, he has a better goal threat. Kudus is stick to that line like by with his heart. Like he doesn't move
yeah.
into the box a lot. He's
Yeah.
putting in those crosses, but that's like
Right.
any fullback can also do the same thing, right? So that is like an assist you can expect, and that's what we saw last game week. There
But he
was
did miss chances as well, right? One
he
on one.
created
You know
chances. I
what?
would say missed.
I've seen him actually come in too close to the box during the last
Last
phase,
game.
last 10 minutes of the game, always.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is when he's almost close to the box. But apart from that, he's just always on the flank.
Thanks. Yeah.
Just like Grealish.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you have, for like in terms of opinion, if you have to attack on a wild card, definitely Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Xavi
I
Simmons?
mean,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah,
going with him?
because I'll tell you why. Because he has both the assist
Set
threat
pieces.
and he has the goal threat as well. Because he is a maverick kind of a player. He has it in him to dribble past and take a shot. He always does that. He cuts in, dribbles, and takes a shot. And then he's on free kicks from the left hand side. He's also on all the corners from the left hand side.
Yeah. Do you have him in your
So
draft? Do you have any Spurs asset?
the problem is money. I'm not able to fit him in my current structure, so that's why I have Kudosh. But
Oh,
if obviously if I had the
I think
money, then I
downgrading
would
one
have.
defender will make you do that.
yeah.
It could help.
So, like
Uh,
just a transfer trend outlook, what we are seeing, and obviously dominated by wildcard, we are seeing Haaland, Semenyo, Senesi, Chalobah is also there for some reason, which I don't know
He has
what
Chalova is
is.
about to
two
rise.
Defcon and
returns in
Yeah.
goals.
5 games.
Yeah,
Okay.
Defcon and goals. potential
And
Right.
he
black.
scored in last game again.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
last game goal could be him.
Yeah.
Califury is also there. In terms of the midfielder, I think Kudos is there. Grealish is again NDI. Gravenberg.
I mean,
Because he scored.
he
Yeah,
has a
Yeah.
because
huge
he scored and assisted.
So Palmer, people
I
are
mean, guys,
moving
like
out of Palmer.
seriously, don't. I will not endorse a Gravenberg
Yeah.
transfer. Like on a
We,
serious note for
yeah.
any
For
of the
We
sure.
reason.
could be wrong, but happy to be wrong here.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you want to bet on whether he'll get a contract this week or next week. That is the only thing you can do with Gravenberg. That is the only thing certain with him. So,
there in
I mean, like,
forwards.
then you see Watkins and other picks in the forwards, Rogers getting out, Ekitike also transferred out. I want to see whether Isak is. Yeah, Isak is coming.
Sia
So,
and Kukurea, as we were discussing before the pod, like Kukurea has not shown that goal threat up till now because we've basically played under a lot of pressure. You know, our defense line has been under a lot of pressure. He's not been afforded as much of freedom up forward. So, Kukurea is being transferred out. Pedro Porro also doesn't seem value at all in that Tottenham defense, right? Romero and Van de Ven are amazing value picks. They have
Yep.
decent defcon potential and goal threat, both of them now actually. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to absolutely save money, just go with Van de Ven. Or if you want some more goal threat and some more certainty around defcon, then Romero should be considered.
Yeah. But one thing about Poro, he's still creating chances. It's just that Spurs striker or whoever is in
I
Yeah.
think
front are not
with
able to convert it.
how predictable DEFCON, and we were discussing before this pod also while preparing these slides, so that the DEFCON predictability has made that attacking threat of fullbacks
Yeah.
much lower now because you can.
It's
Imagine.
simple. No, see, three game weeks of DEFCON is 6 points. That is equal to
Yeah.
two assists.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
in
Correct.
three
I
game
know.
week, you are getting two assists from a center back. I'll surely take it.
So
The
Yeah.
the other
maximum I
thing,
think Trent has taken, I have gotten is I think around 14 assists in the whole season.
I think someone will beat Trent in this season for sure.
For
Yeah,
sure, like for points, yeah. I mean, consider if somebody has a lot of clean sheet and they might actually get some attacking
So
returns.
I'll tell you one
Somebody,
player that was like, oh
Tarkowski, I think, can do that.
no, one player who is completely off the charts now, Munoz.
I was
yes.
about to take. That's what I was saying.
I'm
Imagine
getting
everybody
value
was
for
on
money.
Munoz and he's not
Yeah.
even in the discussion at all. Like nowhere.
Gehi is returning like crazy, right? So he's up there in terms of like priorities, and even Richards and Lecroix are giving such good returns. So that's why I think
Correct.
Munoz 5.5, 5.6, he's
Yeah.
gone off the radar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, now finally we have dilemmas, but I think we covered most of these
Yeah, we
questions
covered
Most
and
of
if
it.
most.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think we don't need to.
Do we
okay.
have a drafts? We can look at the drafts.
I don't have
So
Yeah.
your drafts, you guys have to share with me, but we'll have
I
a
have
team
shared.
selection.
let's just
There's
make our
one
team
draft
here
that
to
I've
be,
shared from
we
the
just
But
make
we
the
have
comment.
drafts here
this,
on the
we
screen.
have a trend like Wildcard 6 template put together. You
Yeah.
can tell me the
Awesome,
tweaks and
awesome.
I can probably
Yeah,
then.
this is good enough.
Yeah. So we can start with this one. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, please.
No, I
Yes.
mean let's just discuss
This one. This is my template. If
common wildcard draft. I think like in
Yeah, that's what I
general,
said, no?
we
consider
can
this as
discuss
my
our
template.
personal teams in the next pod when we do a team selection pod. But this time, let's for anybody who's on a wildcard, what would we suggest? So let's go from that perspective.
Yeah,
And
let's start
consider
Let's
from
make
my
a
my
goalkeeper.
team
point to
value.
doing our
Like
own
I
teams, no? That
just
would
to
give
tell you
them
that
variety of picks.
my team value is exactly 100 million. So this is based on that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, if I am looking on a I'm on a wild card and I'm looking long term, I'll probably not have Tarkowski because after the post this particular fixture, I'm not very sure about their clean sheets. Yeah, he will definitely get those DEFCON points every game, so he will probably get 4 points. But yeah, and four or three at least, right? So
Yeah.
Everton
he's
have
good for this. He's good for this week. Next week, 4 points I will expect. Then
Palace.
yeah, I expect Palace to score.
So they
So
have like three fixtures in next five with more than 30%, 35% defensive.
percent is all fine, but do you expect them to keep a clean sheet against Palace, City,
I think Palace I
and
can
Spurs?
expect because on their home I can expect. On their away ground, then I know like
But
it's
interestingly, if you
doggy.
can, if you have this one, the table that we were looking at, can you go there? The defenders table. So I'll show some stat for Tarkowski, or rather Everton in general. So let's look at their, XGC per 90. So for Tarkowski, it's one of the highest. It's 1.4 expected goals conceded per 90. They have been defending, but there is a high threat that a high chance that they actually end up conceding goals. They have not yet done that, but they can, right? So I'm not so keen on that. But some look at somebody like a Senesi, zero point 0.7, Burn, right, zero point 0.5, Newcastle.
You
So
would
these
get
are the
keen
kind.
though.
So
But you
I'll
said
tell
I'm not
you,
too keen on him. Like,
I'll
is
tell
keen
you
as well
one
for four
thing.
and a half in
I'll
Everton. He
tell
was
you
good
one
last game.
thing. So there are two, this XGC does consider penalties, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that
Yeah,
is first game they got a penalty, which was obviously a VAR scam. Okay, and then one of the penalty was saved by
Pickford.
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 So that is also overblowing this a little bit, I would say. So that, but if
My
you look
point
at
was
from
only
an eye
that
test
they have
perspective,
it in them to concede a goal any game,
last
is what
season,
I'm trying to
till
say.
last
See,
season.
They are much better.
with,
They're still
I
the
mean, they
sixth
still
best
conceded
team
two
in
against
terms of
Wolves.
defense.
but
They're
I
still
do
not
feel
the
Conceded
best.
two against Wolves. So they're not that good.
Yeah. But
Senesi, yeah,
anyway,
Senesi
I
will
mean,
outscore
I'm
Tarkowski in
not
next
trying
five.
to steer
Is
you
what.
away from Tarkovsky, Varun, by any means. Please don't
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it
yeah.
personally.
No, no,
So
I'm
no.
just
actually,
I
giving
know
you.
that.
let's just go to the next slide, and Aman, you and me can just like create something that's close to our wildcard drafts for the viewers
Yeah.
quickly.
Let's start with goalkeeper. Go over
What's your
with
suggestion,
defender
Aman?
and
I
then
mean, a
mid.
lot of people are going with Rhea. I've gone with Donnarumma generally. What are your thoughts, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Donnarumma as well.
Yeah, so we can put Donnarumma there. They're the same price anyway.
Goalkeeper is fixed. I mean, there are only three options that you have. Maybe
It's
four.
Petrovic,
actually four.
Yeah.
Donnarumma,
Actually four.
Yeah.
Petrovic, Donnarumma,
So,
Rhea, and which one?
I can get
And
Pope.
Pope.
Oh, Pope. Okay,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go
Yeah.
with Pope now, but yeah,
okay.
So yeah,
Donnarumma.
and then
Then
Senesi and
midfield,
Gabriel I also have in my
I have.
team, both of them.
Third one I
Uh,
have is probably Van de Ven. I
Why
have.
not go with two Arsenal defender? If you are wildcarding,
Then
why
don't
not
need to
go with
go with
because
Gyökeres.
I am going with
You don't have
Gyökeres, and I want to keep a slot open for Saka if that comes up. So
Yeah.
I don't
right.
want to
but
lock myself
it's
out,
still okay, okay. Okay,
right?
makes sense.
So that's the thinking with that.
The third
And
defender, I'm open to suggestions because I haven't. I am not fixated on anyone. In terms of the other, like Senesi and Gabriel, I also have. The other three
so
right now, I have.
I'll tell you my pick. I have Anderson.
I don't have Anderson,
Actually, yeah.
but I could get him. I could
I
actually
But
mean,
get him.
why
it's
do you
not
want
a.
Anderson? Anderson has a very terrible fixture in next four.
Yeah, that's
I
why
know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I just have it in my him in my team right now.
I
I'm
have Van de Ven. We could
not
put Van de
sure.
Ven. Van de Ven has a good run
Yeah,
of.
Van de Ven is
He's
there,
two
but
or
then
three.
again, Van de Ven, I don't want to keep long term, so it's a
It's a
trans in long.
4.7, so it won't be a problem like replacing him with a 4 or 4.5 defender. So it'll be easy
It's
that way.
fine for now. We can go with Van de Ven.
Yeah,
Let's.
Barun has gone to get Van de Ven.
I
Yeah.
think we did one defender we didn't discuss. We discussed Burn, but we didn't discuss Livramento. So
So
you can
act,
get
so
anyone.
I actually have Burn in Tarkowski's place, right?
Oh.
Hmm.
Just saw my team
It's just
because
that
I
Newcastle
wanted
doesn't
to
have
have.
very good fixtures, right? What
Not
I
right now, but in the
yeah.
long run, they have. So I am somebody who looks from that perspective.
I mean, even in the
Yeah.
long
Uh,
So
run,
they
I mean,
have a
after
great
4 5 game
great
games,
fixture. No, they
no,
have a great fixture. So Arsenal is
Newcastle,
only tough fixture.
right?
Then there's Nottingham Forest. They can keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
Brighton they can keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
They might.
Yeah.
Let's say 50-50.
Yeah.
Fulham they will keep a clean sheet for sure. West
No.
Ham, then Brentford, and then in game
Fair
week
enough.
12 they play City.
Sold. I'm sold.
And then again it's Everton, Spurs,
No.
then Burnley,
You
Sunderland.
could
I
keep the
mean,
only problem is these the Newcastle players, all of them defenders suddenly last season they were 4.5. Now all of them are above 5.1, something like that.
Yeah,
So that's one
yes.
consideration that's going against my this thing.
I
It's
mean,
But
to me, this is a
5
open
million,
spot. You can, but you should not go for anybody over five. Is what
yeah,
I
yeah.
like. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying Burn that I have
So
you can actually
Newcastle is a
keep
fair
Yeah,
shout. I think I was on mute. So Newcastle is a fair shout. I think it's a
yeah.
I
So
top
you
mean,
can
one.
add
Spurs has
Burn
more clean sheet
instead of
chances
But
than Newcastle. Look, just based on
I
the next two game week fixtures only, they have better
so they've
chances.
been
yeah.
like the odds are better because of
Correct.
they play Aston. Everton away
Correct.
is
Oh,
also.
yeah.
I can avoid wildcard, guys.
That's what I said. Yeah.
So let's actually go with
Yeah.
Van de Ven
It
Burn.
gives us more money for
because
having that as well.
no, Van de Ven, because I think
Oh, you're
clearly
saving the money.
statistics are saying that they're as
Yeah.
good, and
Yeah.
we end up saving the money as well.
Yeah,
Money as
Yeah.
well.
But I
perfect.
Midfield is
still
exactly
feel
the
And
same.
Burn.
actually it helps you attack
Yeah.
the current and the next week very well
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, two
So
So
yeah.
fixture plus
I just
he has
yeah.
Defcon plus attacking threat also. That's
Correct.
Yeah.
proven.
I just want to
Yeah.
add my team is done. This is my wildcard draft, except the bench. This is my team.
Yeah, so that's what it's that close. Like all, there are basically auto picks, is what I feel on
These
Yeah.
wildcard
front
this
line is
this
I mean,
week.
I
auto
have
pick.
Yep.
Kudus, and I'm planning to bench Gyökeres for this week and play Kudus, NDI,
Same.
Bruno, Reinders, and
I'm
Semenyo
also
in
planning
midfield.
to bench Gyökeres, although the projection might say otherwise. And
Yeah.
Gyökeres, you can always bank on him to get a penalty
But who are
at
you
least.
Yeah,
playing?
that's true. Newcastle. Arsenal is playing Newcastle.
Newcastle.
But benching
Away.
Gyökeres for.
So he has the Kudus in
Kudus,
place of
Kudus, Kudus. I have
Kudus
Kudus in place
for.
of Stat.
Oh,
Stach.
can you make
So I'm
that?
playing a 3-5-2.
6 million. I can't get
No, you
Kudus.
can't.
But then how are you getting zero point 0.5 shot, zero point 0.6 shot, I think.
I
Is
I
mean,
your
I
think
team
have
even locked?
probably
Gabriel, I don't think he has Gabriel. I think he would have
I
California
have
or
Gabriel.
something.
My value is
You have Gabriel.
100.5 or 6 or something like that, even more than that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the
so
difference
it's
is.
value. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
because my
Yeah.
value.
bench has Richards and my bench has Steve and Gyökeres and Dubravka. Exact same bench
Yeah, the
except the
bench is same, pretty
yeah,
much the same.
yeah. So I
So
have a
yeah,
point
it's
5 value higher.
Bro, this is a good team.
Yeah. So
yeah,
this is my
it's basically the same team like that I also
what I
have.
said. I said the defenders will make a difference. That's what I said earlier.
Correct,
But I
correct.
think the defenders are also everyone is getting at least one Arsenal defender and at least Senesi.
No, but I
Yes.
think Kudus does make a difference if at
Yeah.
least for next 2 game weeks.
Yeah. I can obviously then replace him. And
Paqueta.
Paqueta I'm not too keen on, but yeah.
I mean, so yeah, this and
And
if you
even with
keep
this, by the way, even with this team that I just showed you, I still have point 0.3 in the bank. And I can upgrade NDI to Grealish is what I
Bro,
was asking you
who
क्या
gave you extra
कीजिएगा इतनी
money?
क्या
uh,
कीजिएगा इतनी धनराशि का
Who gave you this money, bro?
I think, I mean, renders all of, oh, I took out words before you guy, way before you guys.
so he
So
And
let's
saved
say
up
point two.
Yeah.
almost like 0.3 million over there.
yeah, and yeah, I think he's the primary one. Apart from that, I gained on the wild card, right? So Aman and me wouldn't have much of a difference as compared to Suraj and you and
I
Varun.
mean, I've only gained point 1, but that team value increases though.
Yeah,
But
it increased.
actually, you don't get like a real value in the sense point 0.1 increase on every
Possibly,
point
I
Yeah,
2
also
only
value,
might have
right?
after
gained a
point
bit
two
on
increase
Mateta
you
as
get a
well.
point
I
Yeah,
one.
had Mateta for last week, so I got him last to last week. So I
yeah,
might have gained on him.
data
But he transferred
definitely
him.
you
He
would
was
have
on
gained.
season, yeah. So and he worked also last week. He got 6 points. So
Right. So
um,
I don't have that extra delta that you
even
have with this
Semenyo,
team,
I
right?
got Semenyo. I think before you guys, a couple of you guys.
But tell me one
So
thing,
Yeah.
who will be
Guys,
your
there's
bench? Who will be your bench next week? You are going to have a benching headache every week with this squad.
no, I mean the thing is, next game week I'm benching Gyökeres, Steve and Richards and Dubravka,
You
and
have
these are the
Gyökeres for
He
two
means
weeks on bench.
no, no, no. He means
one
six.
week.
He means
six
six.
six
For
this
6,
current
for
game week.
7, I'll
Yeah.
play Gyökeres and I'll bench NDI. He's playing Crystal Palace at home. I'll play
Yeah.
Kudus.
Makes
I
sense.
think I, I would
Yeah,
not
that's
bench
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
India benching.
I don't think Everton is scoring against
Yeah.
Newcastle.
Anyway, after 3 to 4 game
Or
weeks,
you could,
we
or you
would
could
know if
also, I don't know, you could
This
also
is
bench
such a
Semenyo against Fulham, but they're at home, so you might actually play
Semenyo, I'm not benching
Semenyo.
yeah,
anymore. Semenyo will play the
yeah,
entire season.
No,
I
why
think
I'm saying is because NDI is on, you should not likely bench your
somebody on
penalty
penalty.
taker.
Yeah, but
I
I
think
don't think it's
Reinders you
fine.
can bench, man. Reinders.
Reinders also, I think he offers too much value for money to bench. He can like return
Yeah, I
any
mean
game
it's
week.
gonna.
And
That's
he'll be
true,
a
right?
starting
So
place for
what
my
Varun
team.
is saying, that's gonna. So you'll always have a benching decision every week with this
Ah,
team
that's good to
because
have rather than
Only
having to
if you are
play.
on bench boost, then only it is good to have.
your
Otherwise,
bench
it is
boost
a
is done.
headache.
You can
Bro,
actually.
I'll
No,
tell
my
you,
point is,
the
yeah, go on.
experience is that if you have such dilemmas like
Yeah,
Aman had last week, he
yeah,
benched Reinders because he could not think of that. And let's say he had a dud player which he did not have to
right.
think, and he would have played Reinders. They could have. You will avoid those jammy points at the bench and not
Yes.
get irritated about it. So
I
it's
agree with
better.
whatever you're
So
saying. The reason why I'm
it
keeping,
will be
I'll tell you the reason why I'm keeping these players. The reason I'm keeping these players is because I'll have enough money to do two transfers and getting, let's say, Isaac or Saka if they
exactly.
start playing. So I'll
If
have
you
This
enough
is a
keep
money
that
to.
short-term
money,
pain. This is a short-term pain.
So Kudus
He
I'm
can
keeping
bring in
only for two
Isak and
game
solve
weeks.
that problem.
At
okay,
least two game weeks I'm keeping Kudus. So
Yeah.
the thing is, I can drop Kudus to, let's say, Dewsbury Hall or Josh King and save up almost 2 million, and then take up another player and transfer two players and getting the players I want, because I'm pretty sure I'm
Yeah.
going to get Isaac in 2 to 3 weeks
fair,
or
fair,
Saka.
fair.
Makes
So
sense.
that's
So
Yeah,
my
basically these will be the fifth player will be the cash cow, whichever
yeah,
yeah.
one he wants to
yeah.
take out
I'll
to
Right,
have
right.
fund
benching
the
headaches for a
advance.
week or two. That's it. It won't even be a
Right.
headache. It's a planned this thing. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just so this is our Haaland draft, right?
Yeah,
Do
yes,
you want to quickly
let's
make Haaland plus Salah draft?
yeah, let's build
sure.
that.
We can copy paste most of the Ritin's draft itself. It's
Sure.
a great draft to be honest. He
Yeah.
has a crazy team over there. But
Which striker?
he has Haaland, Pedro,
And
no Gw6. He has Mark Yu as of
Gyuk.
now.
you,
Yeah, because he has Salah in the mid.
Oh, Gyu.
yes,
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
somebody
Gw.
who's not played bench boost, I think rather I would suggest keep for somebody like a Foster on who's 5 million, just point 0.5 extra, and he plays Burnley, so you can play
fair
him
enough.
in game week
Yeah, yeah.
8 or 9 both.
If you have
If you have to bench boost still,
yeah.
And who does he
If you
have
Then,
on
have
the
enough
15?
money, bench boost you can get it once Salah is uh, out
but
for a
which
What's
AFCON.
player
Riten's
you will
midfield?
get for 4.5 midfielder? Let's say you
So there
have
is
like,
Salah,
So
Milner.
wait.
I
No
think in
need
this
for that.
case, I think you'll also have to downgrade the keeper.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, Petrovic probably.
Maybe you can think of going with
oh,
Nick Pope over
Petrovic.
there. Nick Pope
You
Yeah,
is
can go with
better.
Petrovic.
Pope is better.
No,
Pope is
Pope is
better. Yeah,
5, right?
yeah,
Saves
yeah.
you 0.5
But
still, right?
two Bournemouth defender, I would say one Newcastle is better
One
that
second.
way.
Pope is
Yeah,
5 and Petrovic is
Diversifying.
4.5, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So
But
Petrovic is
he
better then.
already has Senesi, no? Senesi.
That is
Senesi.
very
So you're doubling up on Bournemouth defense is what
Yeah.
fair enough.
I'm
the
saying
idea is.
diversify your risk rather than
Yeah.
having two
I think
You
defenders.
only
anyone can
you can
get
double up on
5.5, and this is also down to the team value I have. So 5.5 is
Correct,
still
correct.
possible if you have Aman. So that is 5.5. I think you can get anyone.
You can bring in Salah. That's the main.
Let me just
That's
Oh,
quickly
the
check
you
main
your
idea.
already brought in. Yeah,
I'm just
you
checking
brought
all
in
of your
Salah.
team values.
Semenyo. Do you have Mitoma? Okay, so I'll tell you what Ritin has. Ritin has Salah, Kudus, Mitoma, Semenyo, and Dewsbury Hall in mid. So
He
we can
doesn't.
avoid Mitoma if needed. We can
No,
have
but
someone
Mitoma is
else.
actually a good pick on for a from a long term point of view. Mitoma could actually be Minte also. I think I like Minte more than Mitoma. Saves you as zero point 0.5 as well if you go with
Yeah,
Minte. And he's been attacking. He's been pretty attacking. He
right, right.
scored in the last week as well.
Agreed.
I mean, any 5.5 Anderson can be also picked
Yeah, even Anthony, if you
required.
want to bench
So
boost in
you
it.
can
But
go
yeah,
with this.
defense is. Oh, he has
Yes,
Munoz in defense, but we won't pick
yeah,
that.
no,
We'll
but
pick
if you're on
Richards
a
over there.
wild card and you want to go with the Salah and Haaland draft, this is a good one. You
Yeah,
know,
yes,
you have a very decent midfield, very good midfield actually. It's not much of a downgrade from what you had. Although you have almost everybody except for two players, and Bruno you have upgraded to Salah, and another 5.5 you have downgraded, or 6.5 in Kudus you have downgraded to a 5.5. That's it. You're letting go of
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. that is where you're letting it go. But then you're also getting Salah, who's always going to be one of the highest projected players in terms of points, for every week almost. So you have the, and you
Could
don't
be a
have to
game
worry
week
about
8 wildcard team.
captaincy. You don't have to ever worry about captaincy now. You always have the two best captains in the game every week. You can keep on
Hmm.
changing as per you feel. And this is very, it's a decent one. The only contingency here is that Salah keeps performing like he had in the last season.
So if I take this to game week 8,
It's a pretty good bench boost. It's a pretty good bench boost.
yeah, yeah, it's a solid bench boost.
And without any transfers, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes, makes sense.
yep,
So yeah, I mean both these things are possible. I think I it's a fair consideration. At least if you're not going with the Liverpool forward like Salah, Isak, have a plan in place. That is going to be the suggestion.
yep,
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we've been podding for almost 2 hours now.
yeah. Let's bring us to the end. So finally,
I think we have covered everything.
yep.
Awesome.
So you can take screenshot of this Haaland Salah and even a previous Haaland draft as well, if
Or
whatever.
even reopen the video again and watch it again
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll
keep
Panic
it
it.
appreciate
there.
it.
and send it to others and let them watch it.
Yeah, and do share it, right? If you found it helpful, please share the video with your friends
Yeah.
and fellow players. Yeah, we'd really appreciate any kind of you know
Who's
support on this
Shane?
channel.
Who's Shane calling Amorim? Is he calling me Amorim?
You. Yes,
I
yes.
look
And he had
like
a
Amorim.
question for you. And he had a question for you that is Buemo gonna start every week or not?
I'd rather just focus on my job for now.
But yeah, I mean, Boomo will. I think Boomo definitely starts every week. He's been the
Yeah.
best
He's a
player.
90-minute guy. He's a
No, and
90-minute
he's
guy.
also been the most attacking player from United, like most likely
Well
to
said,
have scored.
true. Yeah.
So he's going to start every game week, I think.
All
Without him,
right.
the team
So
is
yeah.
very weak.
So finally, I think if you have to summarize, Aman, Vimarsh have given enough insights that why Wildcard 6 makes sense. And obviously for their team, it makes sense. Hopefully, uh, only green arrows from now on. Me
Hopefully.
and Suraj are on a different strategy, but obviously team is close to how a Wildcard team would look like. You know the way route to points from your team, so just see how that is different from the current wildcard setup that is there and take your fair shout over there. And we'll see you soon. Probably we'll all of us will be putting our Aman and Vimarsh will surely be putting their final wildcard team selection um,
We'll
shots
try
over
to pod
YouTube.
again on Friday, let's see, or
Yeah.
tomorrow if possible.
Yeah.
One of the
Over
two.
there,
So
we
that
can discuss our drafts actually
yeah.
Yeah,
and talk more
we'll
about
do
our
a team selection pod, a short one this time because we've actually discussed almost every content. So it could just be a discussion amongst us trying to discuss
yeah
our drafts and our team and our
thought process
plans.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So we'll
All
put
right.
on the contents of this pod on our social handles as well. So do check out. If we change something, we'll obviously keep everyone updated. And stay tuned with FPL Pulse Talk.
All right. Take
Bye
care.
Thanks,
everyone.
All the
guys.
Take
best.
care.
Happy wildcarding.
Happy wild card
Happy
week.
Wildcard Week. 1 घंटा 58 मिनट